Inside we go here this morning. Futures in the red, wrapping up what's going to be a pretty red week as well for the S&P and the NASDAQ. Got to go back to April to find a worse week for the NASDAQ specifically. About 2.7, 2.8% on the week, 1.7 right now for the S&P 500. That's not including this right now. Again, in negative territory for the Qs here. The SPY looking about the same, not as bad here this morning, but back to the lows, back through that low from yesterday specifically. Just getting Canadian employment data. We might as well talk about some sort of jobs data here. The unemployment rate, actually better, 6.9% versus 7.1% in the prior. We added, Sharif, 66,000 jobs in this country versus a negative print last week. Coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, University of Michigan sentiment. There is some inflation data in that, but we'll take what we get, I guess.
It's good. It's better than what we did last time. I just want to see how many of those are temporary employment, or part-time, I should say. Good morning, guys. There's a whole lot to talk about. That's the second day in a row now. The morning notice, 15 pages are over. It's ridiculous amounts of headlines. Obviously, we're going to start with Tesla, with Elon Musk getting over 75% of the vote there with respect to his new pay package. Many different things to talk about there. A lot of different earnings names as well to speak about, but Elon did mention Intel as a possible partner to possibly build out fabs.
That was kind of funny.
You know what he said? He needs almost as much as what Taiwan Semi is pumping out now for him to build his robot.
And then more.
Robotaxi. And more, right? So ridiculous amounts there. Airbnb in focus, Brendo. Take-Two Interactive, Affirm, Peloton, DraftKings, Block, all reported.
To name a few. And then he said they're going to build a massive fab in the U.S. to make their own chips, because as Sharif was saying, they'll buy as many as they can get, and then they still need more. So what's he going to do? He said maybe we have to go and build a fab. But yeah, he said maybe we should have some talks with Intel. It kind of seemed off the cuff, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
It's kind of how he is.
Here's Tesla right now, back downside with the overall market. It was a bit of a chop fest. You can see after the close yesterday when this was happening, or ahead of Elon essentially taking the stage. The rest of the meeting was very formatted and formal and wasn't really anything to write home about. But lots to learn from Elon himself. The CyberCab production officially starting in 2026. The Semi officially production starting in 2026. There was one more as well, the Roadster. Coming as well, they talked about. So a lot of things. He said 2026 is going to be a huge year for them.
I got to give him credit, though, at that meeting yesterday, Brendo, because they played pre-recorded as well as live, dissents to his pay package. And people were saying, like, overtly negative things about him, but they played it in the open for everybody to hear.
Yeah. And we were just talking about this before we came on there. One of the really, really interesting things, he said, theoretically, or it's theoretically possible to get the CyberCab production to a 5-second increment, meaning they're going to be blasting these things out the door every 5 seconds. We played this. We played a video on this show. Randy's laughing. We played a video on this show over in China when they first opened the Gigafactory in China, and there was one coming out. I think it was every 1 minute or 30 seconds they got it to over there. So
I'll believe it. And besides, you and I are saying off camera that there's not too many internal parts like steering wheel, pedals, accelerator. It's going to be devoid.
Stamp out a door, stamp out a hood, throw it together, get it out. Yeah, he said theoretically it's possible to get.
Randy's not having trouble believing it.
Happy Friday, guys. Good morning.
Randy, good morning, everybody. Randy has said no to that probably how many times? 6, 7, 8 times? Oh, plums today.
Yeah, the bananas are high mileage.
The bananas are hot.
Bananas looked weak.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't grab one today, so maybe that's a good thing.
I had a plum yesterday. They were pretty good.
Well, I'm happy with that. That's a lot of talk about Tesla, but the door got slammed shut today for OpenDoor, down over 20%. How many times do you see a company beat guidance expectations and they're down 23%? OpenDoor has managed that feat. Their guide was for it's like over 30% lower revenue next quarter, but actually somehow was better than expectations. This will be, look, it's going to do it's going to do a lot of volume today. There's no question about it. Affirm, if you're looking for something that was actually good.
Yeah, that was a good one, right?
Affirm, although giving it back. Affirm was double digits. It's now only 6% to the upside. Wendy's is up, believe it or not, if you're looking for a little bit of strength. Saw someone in the chat mentioning that. So it is, like, there's going to be a lot to look at, but a lot of it is not looking very good. Block is an example of a chart that doesn't look very good. On a plus note, though, anyone that voted for Bitcoin in last night's poll being over 100,000 at the open, for now, that's winning. It's been under 100,000 like several times this morning and kind of just teetering back and forth. So yeah, that one will be up in there. It's a little something for everybody today. If you like small cappers, you know, there's going to be OpenDoor, of course. CGC even reported if you happen to like things that are trading at $1. So yeah, a lot to look at. You're going to have to try to narrow it down. Be looking at some of the chips. I kind of like that Intel story. If the market can get to the upside, it's not really a story. It's just, you know, Elon pointing out that they have massive chip needs as well, and the whole Build in America thing is kind of working out in Intel's favor.
Yeah, Nvidia down again here today, down another 1.5%. So that continues to go lower here as well. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. You know, yesterday at 4 o'clock when we were doing the recap show, I said regardless of what this vote is, because it's going to pass, it's going to be a sell, the news, and that's exactly what happened. So unfortunately, we nailed that one, but I wrote down 440 long for Tesla. So we're coming into that level right now. It's going to be the #1 trade idea, just like Alibaba was yesterday, which wound up being a $3 or $4 winner. Let's see if we can just be patient with Tesla here and see if it can somehow hold some of these lows and then bounce it off of that and get back up to some of these highs again. So I'm just interested in this 440 right here. Looks like we're going to break it early, so we're not going to step into it. But I like Tesla down here. It's been such a great stock. It's actually holding the highs. You know, we look at some of these other names. Like, I don't have to call up Meta now or Microsoft or I don't know. I guess Nvidia, AMD, Oracle. They're all like down here. You know. So if Tesla was actually behaving like the rest of these sort of big cap names, you'd already be at 340 or 360. You know, so it's actually holding up pretty good here. We'll see if it can wind up holding that 440. We're not going to step right into it. And then, you know, we've been warning ever since these prediction markets about DraftKings. I'm thinking about a long soon. I want to see if it can hold 20. I don't know if we're going to get down there. So I wonder if that was sort of a whoosh down moment down there to get into the 2450-ish or so area. But yeah, DraftKings coming back in. I mean, they're going to add the prediction markets and everything to their platform as well, right? So I think they're going to be fine at the end of the day. And I was listening yesterday to the CEO, and they lost on, I think he was saying it was 7 NFL games that really put their quarter in the negative, and all of that will revert to the mean. Gambling is a winning proposition for the house, not a losing one. And the fact that all this stuff happened with the NBA and underground poker and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't even an NBA story really with those guys. They were just NBA players. Yeah, one of them was, but they caught that game before so that didn't even affect it. It was more the underground ring of poker games. So, and they're saying that NBA games are way up for them this year. So that's good. I think DraftKings does find a bottom here at some point, and we'll see if it can come back into today. Yeah, the TV's behind us. Yeah, what's up, Life's Interpretation? Yeah, they're pretty hot fire. That's just a big, huge TV. So pretty soon it's all going to come together. We're really excited for that. And of course, here goes Randy pretending to measure stuff. That's great.
Hard work. You've got to make sure there's enough room for the screens in there.
Same thing 10 times. There he goes. Hey, what's up, Randy? Yeah, we're excited for all of this, man. It's going to be another great day. I mean, we had tons of opportunity. Whether or not you're long or short, the opportunities are here, right? You mentioned OpenDoor, so many other names. I mean, SMR, I actually put a buy in my account for $30 here. This is going to be one of the greatest trades that I've made. Shorting 57, buying back 30s. Let's see if that, even if that doesn't work, we've still made $27 on our money there. So it looks like we might already be filled. I mean, I don't know. It hasn't printed 30 yet. We might have just got bounced off of us right there. But yeah, we're going to be buying back some SMR today just because. I want to get some of that back into the account, so that's going to be a good one there. But yeah, AMD, Nvidia, Broadcom, Intel with that story.
Airbnb, actually, if you're looking for stocks that are up today, Airbnb is another example of one that didn't actually stink. So like there is a little bit of something for everybody, I think, here today. I even saw like a small capper running. It was like MT. I don't know. Began with an M, but not really that big of a deal. And as I said, if you're really, really feeling frisky, CGC I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It's up 18%. And it bounced off of $1. Like there's crazier things. I don't know if volume's actually going to come into this, but like it's on the back burner for something that like could go. Volume is, I'd say, a little bit disappointing for now, but if there's like 1 day out of the year or 4 days out of the year that we kind of look at this when there isn't any news, it might be today. It's kind of languishing, but we'll see. Like I said, there's going to be something for everybody out there. And as always, make sure when you're throwing your symbols in there, I've seen Coinbase throwing in there. It's MTVA is the one. Someone just put in the chat. Make sure you throw the $sign in. If you didn't throw the $sign for MTVA. But I like stocks breaking $1. I had this one on the side burner. Volume solid. But I know somebody that is always full of ideas and things to watch, and that is the NOS boss. Let's give Michael on a Friday morning, as usual. And Randy is very, very interested in what we're saying.
Today, lots to do still in the studio, as you guys said. Coming along nicely, though. Let's bring in Michael Noss, have a look at what he's been looking at during the week. This is a little bit of a negative conversation you want to have here this morning, Michael Noss. We're talking about. I didn't even know there was an indicator, first of all, but of course there's an indicator that tells you when there's an increased. And correct me if I'm wrong. An increased chance overall of a market crash.
Yes. So this is the Hindenburg Omen, and it is as scary as it sounds, but like always, I'll come in and kind of break it down and tell everyone what it is and whether or not we should be panicking or not. But actually, just very briefly, it's kind of a crazy story. The guy who invented this was like a blind physics teacher who never looked at the market before, and he created this indicator that has predicted every major crash that's ever happened. And I'll talk about the caveats around that before, but the next chart is just showing when in the past this area or this Hindenburg Omen has happened. And you can see, it's a lot of red around, generally speaking, where the market has topped. And that has shown, again, in every major crash going back to 1987 to date, there has been a Hindenburg Omen before it's happened. So again, don't worry, I'm hopefully not going to spook you guys out. I'll go over the nuances here. But first of all, what is it? And this is just very interesting. And part of this is because, you spend enough time around Twitter, you're going to hear people talking about this because it was such a big deal because it does a good job at predicting all these crashes. So we're just going to go through the 3 major components that it needs to have. There's 3 parts of this indicator that combine that tell you that, hey, there could be a crash coming. And the first one is just the stocks have to be over the 50-day moving average and kind of trending up. So because crashes, generally, you want to kind of, I guess, time them when the market's going up and the market's not going down. So that's the first step, is that you need over the 50-day moving average. That one's pretty simple. The next chart here is where things get a little bit more complicated. So the lower indicator is essentially how many stocks are hitting new highs and how many stocks are hitting new lows. And you're not looking for those to necessarily be kind of weighted in one direction where most stocks are hitting new lows or most stocks are hitting new highs. What you want is a bifurcation to occur. And you can see if you look at the little green line and the little red line there, it just shows that they're splitting and they're getting wider, which basically means there's a lot of stocks right now that are at or near and hitting new highs. And there's a lot of stocks right now that are at and near hitting new lows. And when you have that split in the market, the idea is that this kind of gives a signal that there's some churn that's happening internally. Some bullish people like myself may call it rotation. I guess the idea behind this indicator is that this splits it up and says, okay, we're only being carried by a small amount of stocks, which I know is funny because that's normally what we've been doing recently. But that's the second part of this Hindenburg Omen. And then the third part here, the next lower indicator that I've added is that overall breadth has to turn weak and has to turn negative. And when you have these 3 things combined, breadth just being the amount of stocks on average that are above or below a major moving average, that has to turn negative and start to continue to turn negative. When you have all of these 3 together, you have the Hindenburg Omen, and that has triggered very recently. And you're just hearing a lot of buzz in the technical analysis community about it. However, right, I said it has timed every major market crash, but just like Michael Burry and some people out there. It has also triggered a whole bunch of times when there has been no crash. So the best analogy that I can give, if you hear about this Hindenburg Omen, it's like that fire alarm in your house, the fire detector that is a little bit annoying. It will certainly detect every fire. So it will detect 100% of all fires, but it will also detect when the toast gets burned. So on average, you're talking like a 25-30% chance that the market is down 10-ish% after this triggers. And really what kind of confirms this is if we see another trigger of all of these same conditions happen in the next 30 days. So the followers of this indicator, they take the first signal that just occurred over the last few days as, okay, it's time to maybe go to a yellow alert status and maybe raise a couple bucks of cash and try to figure out something there. And then if we see this, all these things happen again in the next 30 days, that's when they would get a little bit worried. So the last chart here is just the chart of the returns after the Hindenburg Omen. You can see kind of 1 week out to 1 day or 1 year out. And there's a lot of data there, but I'm glad that they color coded it green and red. And you can just see there is, in the past, there has been a lot of red for, say, 2 months to 3 months out. In most cases, you can see here it has been green a year out, but most of the times, like 75% of the time, the market is green a full year out. So it looks like this does its most damage over the next couple months, again, if it's accurate, but with about a 30% win rate, I'm not super terrified of it, but just looking at the data, looking at the win rate of it, this could be a little bit of a yellow flag, which, we're seeing that in price action as well, and just saying, hey, this is something to keep an eye on. I have never used this before in my trading. Just one of those things I hear talked about all the time and has a very terrifying name, which I think is why it's talked about all the time. So just like I always do, I just want to break down the math and say, yes, this has predicted a lot of market crashes. It's also not predicted a lot of market crashes. So again, maybe if you have something that you're looking to raise some cash on, now might be a time to take a look and do it. But it's more about keeping an eye to see if this occurs again, which would be a more deterioration essentially of breadth under the hood while remaining above that 50-day moving average.
Given that we will be sitting here, I'm sure, within a few weeks, also talking about the potential of, a couple of other things happening before the end of the year, one being tax loss harvesting, one being the Santa Claus rally. Is there any sort of seasonality around this that we should be aware of, or just blanket, maybe 12 to 15% of the time this could be worse in 2 to 3 months?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not really seasonality dependent because the core of the indicator is looking for a very bifurcated market and a market that's driven by a number of stocks, which again, I laughed in the beginning because that's kind of been happening for almost 2 years now, where it's just a handful of stocks that are really driving the returns. So this has triggered a couple false times already. The last one was, I think, in September of 2024, and we've just ripped since then. So there is an argument to be made, and this is the argument that's happening in kind of my nerd community, where this time is different, where maybe these companies are more uniquely structured before. Because when this was built, you got to remember that what essentially it was looking at was to say, okay, all the railroad companies are going up, but then every other stock is going down. Or, maybe these weird textile manufacturers are going up, but most stocks are going down. So if the market has kind of fundamentally changed, which if you go to that last chart, you can actually see it's getting less accurate over time. There's a lot of, again, 2018, there was a lot of triggers and we went higher for a long time. 2020, right? It did call the 2022 top, but right, 2024 and 25. So again, there's been a lot of triggers throughout that haven't evolved. So again, I just look at this and I mainly wanted just to come here and say, if they gave it a really scary name. So I'm worried that people are just going to look at this and go, okay, right, we're going to crash. A crash is imminent. Again, it's more of just like a warning sign of, potentially, we've been talking about this, I know, Brendan, a lot. If you're if you have a lot of cash and you want to raise some and you kind of believe in this, it might be a good time to do it. I, for one, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything based off this particular indicator. It's just an interesting one. It's the fact that it has this perfect track record of calling all the tops, even though it's called a lot of non-tops, is certainly interesting.
And at a point in time when the market's very maybe overextended once again, but as we continue to talk about that, it seems to just continue to float higher and higher. Great stuff, Michael Noss.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Michael. And, you know, what's interesting, and I know Michael said it's not an indicator he uses, but that chart, at least, when you look at it, because overall the market tends to go up over a year in almost any time frame, you know, it does sort of signal in a couple of months, it could be a trim and then buy situation. And, you know, we've been sort of saying this is the kind of top that the things that you don't love as much or you think are a little bit frothy, it's like, yeah, it makes some sense to trim those and then look for some deals for dip buying in the coming weeks and months. It's kind of where my head is at. Crash or no crash. The thing about it is a gigantic market crash like financial crisis, it's the kind of thing that nobody sees coming. That's the whole point. So like these kind of opportunities here, maybe it's more of a trim and look for the dip buy. And if all you know what breaks us, we have other things to deal with. We do have to also deal with some upgrades, downgrades, maybe some options action. It is a Friday. That's when we always love to talk Joey options, but even more pertinent on a Friday.
Yes, it is Friday, and good morning, everyone. Let's get it started, guys. Take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades. To start it off, we have AppLovin by Wedbush getting that price target raised to $800. Slightly red on the session, just a little bit under 1%. There's a lot of red on the board today, guys. Bank of America by TD Cowen as well, too, getting that price target raised to $64, down about 0.25%. Now, Robinhood taking it on the chin yesterday, guys. 172 is going to be that price target, down 2% on the session, with Mizuho giving it that price target raise. Now, Datadog as well, too, guys, by Needham and Company, price target $222. Down about 0.9, a little bit less of a percent. Now, Bumble as well, too, guys, by RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, lowering that price target to $5, down roughly 0.5%. Now, CarMax as well, too, benchmark going from a buy to a hold, down 1 3/4 roughly. Now, DoorDash as well, too, guys, Barclays, no good, lowering that price target to $238. UBS Group lowering the target on Fortinet as well, too, guys, down 1 1/4. Price target is $80. Now we'll take a look at some of the put activity on yesterday's session. These names I feel were hit the hardest, so we want to take a look at what some of these contracts activities is telling us. Now, as for AMD Advanced Micro Devices at that $220 strike price on the put side, we're sitting around 10,600 open contracts with around 2,900 traded yesterday, but that's going to be expiring on November 21st. So what is that telling me? There might be some options riding on those, considering they're still held open, and then you get that rolled over into next week. Now, as for Meta, guys, 600 strike price expiring today. Open interest relatively light, but the volume starting to step in and close a lot of those contracts. Open interest around 6,600 with 15,300 contracts traded on the day. And then Robinhood also at that $120 strike price. It's a ways away from here, but that open interest could tell me that this can act as a potential put wall. Look for those to hold and carry over volume 23,300, guys.
Yeah, I'm with that Robinhood one in particular because, look, Hood was down over 10%, right? So it's going to be SSR today, and there's support on the daily at 120. Like right here, that'll be like the end of September, and then you had like the October low was also just underneath 121. So that seems like an SSR bounce level to me, especially on a Friday with that 120. And we've sort of seen this play out before. So like Robinhood's always on the radar. It's a type of stock, like when this is SSR or when Palantir is like has the uptick rule in effect, or Tesla, good example of it. When they're down, especially on the second day, I look for like these little bounce levels, and Hood at 120 to 121 is certainly going to be one for me, and certainly reinforced by that, Joe.
I remember when this Bumble came to market, it was such a joke. But you know, you are down now to $4. Just looking at it, that it was a bottom previously, the tariff bottom. So you're just looking to see, like I said, I don't know, dating app and stuff like that. I think Grindr had some private equity talk. Maybe I should look, because I know that was getting bought out or talk of it. So I don't know how their numbers relate to Bumble or anything like that, but Bumble down here near $4, $3.50, $4. I mean, maybe if you were trying to take a stab at something, I mean, this has just been crushed there. We get that. It was a downgrade, but the price target was 5. So I don't know where their price target was before for TD or whomever that was. But right now, Bumble, I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention in case you know something about the company or are interested in finding things that are literally at their tariff lows. We heard from Michael that, you know, there could be some more downside or upside. I was telling Neil, it's just market commentary, man. Like, I want people to make calls. But down into here, $4. Let's see if that winds up holding. Yet a little bit of garbage underneath, right? $3.50 or so. But yeah, I like those warning shots that Michael was talking about there. This one's already sort of been crushed to the downside and down to $4. $3.50 is the all-time low for Bumble. So if you want to take a shot on something, I don't think it has enough social media or anything, you know, to do anything like an OpenDoor or Beyond Meat or anything like that. So I wouldn't go for it for that. I'd go for it if you thought there was a chance for that name to either be bought out, because GNDR, is that right? No, GRND Grinder. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to see this one because I thought there was talk of some sort of a buyout on this. I don't know if it actually even went through or whatever, but that was also on the way down until we got that talk a couple weeks ago, and now it's trying to bounce off a little bit here. So that didn't get even near its lows. So I'm just saying these are two names that I was thinking about.
It's a way
when
bigger.
I saw the Bumble.
Grindr's a way bigger company too.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really know.
They were up like 8 points today. They report.
Grindr? I don't know. I don't know why they're up. Maybe they reported. I didn't see last night that they reported. But Airbnb, another name here. We talked about some of the names that are up today. Affirm, Airbnb. Airbnb not giving anything back. They're continuously, they're not continuously, but they're trying to go higher here. Watch out for 130 maybe break on Airbnb if the market actually gets going, which is right here. That's a pretty good ledge, you know, that we fell off of. And let's just wait to see here if we can retake that 130 level on Airbnb. But we have lots to talk about, man. It's 8:57. It's coming up, you know, 30 minutes from now. We see if that market continues its downside or if maybe we found a little bit of a bottom. Remember, we're all the way back. It's funny because just yesterday, I think Brendan or Sharif, or maybe it was 2 days ago, they were like, wow, we're still above that 25,000. Well, right now, that's basically the level that we're bouncing off of. So we did have a nice move up in the Qs and in the NASDAQ up to 25.7, 25.8. You've given that all back, and now you're trying to retest some good support areas here for the NASDAQ. So let's just throw it back over the desk, and let's try to find some good value and some good trading opportunities.
I was just looking at the Airbnb back to the upside right now. This is a weekly chart, but I mean, we were just talking, Sharif and I were just talking off camera about Tesla's weekly chart. If you zoom out on Tesla, it's just absolutely amazing, whereas something like an Airbnb just stuck in this range going all the way back to 2023. This thing hasn't done much of anything around this 127, 130, but Airbnb, another one with the headline this morning. But yeah, I mean, we can just quickly, if you zoom out here on Tesla, what did I say it was? 2,800%?
From 2010. Yes.
To today. So the market, if you're wondering, the NASDAQ anyway, is about 1,200% in that same time period.
Yeah, so more than double, Brando.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the package there that he may get, if all is said and done, is quite, you know, aggressive. Let's talk about what's expected here, Brando. They need to have 20 million vehicles on the street delivered. That is, to date, they've only delivered about 8 million, and I say only because it's relative to 20. He's got to have 10 million active full self-driving FSD subscriptions. Now, the company didn't make the distinction between the free trial FSD and paid. They didn't make any distinction between those, so we can just assume 1 million Optimus humanoid robots, 1 million robotaxis in our operation. And Brendo, he's got to get like profitability goals as well. $50 billion in annual adjusted profit to date. He brought in 4.2 billion in Q3. So, you know, even if you multiply that by 4, we're still substantially below 50. All these are really aggressive performance milestones, and I think they're warranted. His pay is warranted if he's able to reach them. Yeah,
for sure. And again, you know, we keep saying this over and over again, but I mean, the last time, and they even mentioned this on that call last night, the last time that he came up with, what was it called, Master Plan 2 or something like that? Yeah. Everybody again at that point said, this is insane, no way he's ever going to do this. And not only did he did it in half the time that he was expected to get those things done. So why won't he do this? Of course he will. Anyways, let's get into more about this. If you haven't done so yet, grab the watch list. Comes out every single morning before we come on at 8:30. Link is below in the description. All you need then is your email address. Comes right to your inbox again. Has everything you need to know in it every single morning. Let's, I mean, we just went through some of the numbers here. Let's talk about what happened last night. Again, if you're just joining or missed it, Elon's pay package easily gets passed. It wasn't even close when all was said and done. Even some rumblings going back to the beginning of this week suggesting that maybe it will, maybe it won't. Ends up no problem at all.
No problem at all, Brendo. And the first of the 12 possible tranches of pay, because that's what they're broken into, would get released or triggered if the company hits a $2 trillion market cap. Well, it's at 1.5 right now. So one of the first tranches could be released quite soon. The last tranche, the final tranche, would be released if the company reached an $8.5 trillion market cap. Lots of other things were discussed, as we mentioned. You know, he spoke briefly about a possible tie-up with Intel. He's got chips on his mind, Brendo, the A5, which is one of their latest chips coming out next year, the A6, the AI6, I should say, coming out in 2027. So he spoke about a plethora of issues, namely a lot, though, about gigafactories and chips.
Yeah, downside, surprisingly, Sean, I mean, you mentioned this yesterday. Definitely a sell the news. I mean, it was setting up potentially to be a sell the news kind of event. Here we are.
But you know what? Thanks, Brendan. We always talk about that, and it's just like you buy this sort of rumor and sell the news. And when we called up Kalshi there, and it was 95% chance of it passing, yet everything we hear about, is it going to pass? Like, what's going to happen? I just felt like that was just kind of FUD a little bit into the name. And the fact is, the market right now, the stock market, the NASDAQ, AI, technology, and all that is not well loved. But for some reason, Tesla is still hanging out up here. So I felt like people were interested in this vote, and yet everyone knew it was going to pass. Like I said, it was 95% chance in the betting markets that this was going to pass. So that when it passed, it couldn't go up because the market already knew that it was going to pass. So for me, it was a sell the news kind of situation, and that's exactly what happened. And people didn't really like when I said that there on the stream yesterday, but looks like we are down into here, but that's not down that much. You're only down 1%. And in fact, I have Tesla written down today as a long. So right here on the sticky note, I have Tesla long. Watching 440 after the board approval. Want to see if this weekly support holds. Also, we've got good, it's FSD support talk regarding China. So right now, he's talking about getting that approval in China for FSD. We do know that, you know, as far as FSD is concerned, these guys are, you know, the only car in town that can match, or the only option if you're looking for FSD with that technology. So yeah, I think 440 here could hold. We've been bouncing off a little bit here today. And if you just look at the weekly, if I zoom this back out a little bit here, you're just gonna see that this goes all the way back to the 30th of October, where we've sort of held 440. That's this level here. I can just put a little marker right into here and show you guys exactly in case you can't see that. But that's 440. Have we dipped below it? Yes. We do know that there's been some violent moves in the market as the past couple of days. There's 2 days this week where the NASDAQ's dropped 2%. Yet Tesla's still hovering near its weekly highs, near its weekly lows. So if we can hold right here and the market can retrace a little bit, I think you actually have a great opportunity for $10 plus here on Tesla today. So let's not like catch this falling knife. Let's just let it open up, see if this 438 holds. If it does, we spank this back up to the upside and we take Tesla long today. I mean, I think it's a great story. Elon is going to be you know, the visionary here, and why not? I mean, as you guys already mentioned, he's already led everybody, you know, to the water. We just have to drink it. And so many people have gotten so much money and so rich off of this name that I think the buyers will come in. And why not happen right now at 440? The market is my biggest worry, of course.
He doesn't have to lead us to the water. The robot can get us to water, and it can serve it to me as well.
Exactly.
Because we're all just lazy at the end of the day. No, look, a lot can be said about this. There's a million things that have to get met here for it to happen. So it's not just getting handed like $1 trillion. But ultimately, all of these lofty goals, does anybody believe that Tesla gets to them without Elon Musk? And the shareholders have spoken, and I don't think too many people, whether you like them or not, too many people probably wouldn't disagree with that. Long term, there's a tremendous growth opportunity. First, they have to prove they can build these robots that can actually do everything that he is saying and change the world and have them in every single home. That has to happen, and then you got to build a market for them. There's a lot that goes into that. So obviously, for a while, it's going to seem like an overpriced stock with crazy lofty expectations, which is exactly what it was before with the car. So it's not uncharted territory. For myself, there's a pattern with Tesla where the first move, wherever it breaks away from, tends to be the right one, with the exception actually of Wednesday. So if you take away Wednesday, the last couple of weeks, if you've just sort of let it go and just participate after it makes its direction, there's a lot of room in either direction. If it loses the bid here, there's room to 420. So if we have a first close of the 15-minute down, then I think it can trend into 420. Or otherwise, you know, the same thing to the upside. Like I wouldn't care if we're just above 450, and I think it's 452, and then trying to break into that high. And then the other thing that I'm using a 15-minute here, and I'm only going to use the 15-minute on Tesla because I tried to get a bottom on Tesla, and then it only indicated a bottom on the 15-minute. It was no good on the 1, it was no good on the 3, it was only the 15-minute chart that was any use for the reversion. So I might not trade Tesla until like a setup happens here on the 15-minute because it's been a little bit more clean. Like look at the reversion on a 15-minute, anywhere you take the curl on a 15, once it goes green, it stays green. And it's the same thing, you know, once it goes red, it kind of stays red there. Once it goes green, it stays green. So I'm going to use the 15-minute, which probably means I'm not trading Tesla early on, but I can come back to it later and not just sit there over.
It's going to break 440 right now. So, yeah I think that's a good idea. That's what I was saying. Wait for a dip down. I like that kind of a call. So, yeah, not worth stepping in. It's almost kind of like it's an earnings fry almost.
Exactly. It's just like
you don't really know what it's going to do right off the jump.
Exactly. Treat it like an earnings play. Let the money come in and decide on that 15-minute. OpenDoor got crushed. They beat. Their guidance was a beat, and they beat top and bottom, and they're down over 20%.
All right, yeah, open downside in a pretty big way here. If you zoom way out, you got to go all the way back to the beginning of 2024. $4.50, $4.72 on a weekly chart was a level at that point. We're sitting on that right now, but yeah, not good here for open earnings.
No, it wasn't, Brendo, but you know, they're trying to restructure the company. Let's talk about what happened over here. You know, they reported the revenues fell by about 1/3 year over year, down to $915 million now. But that beat actually the analyst expectations of 850. But their Q3 loss widened, 12 pennies per share they lost. The street was looking for 7. Here's what the new CEO Kaz Nejatian said: "We are refounding OpenDoor as a software and AI company. Our path to profitability is clear. We want to transact with more sellers," surprise there, "strengthen our unit economics through better pricing and resale speed, and drive operational efficiency by being ruthless on expenses." Brendo, I think he's just gotten the job a couple of months ago. He needs some time to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, obviously always can be worse. It's worth noting here, Trump Media, DJT isn't moving too much on this, but a few numbers just coming across with their latest earnings as well. DJT downside, but not moving on that though, guys.
No, and look, OpenDoor, obviously being over 20%, well, it was over 20% down, will make it SSR. It's also a squeeze play. So it did break out. I mean, on my note, I was like, let's see the open if it doesn't break the low, then I was kind of I was kind of looking for that it tries to break down, fails to, and then breaks out. But it just did it with 20 minutes to go. So this is kind of already on the push. And the other thing I said in my note was I'd wait for around the 580 to 6 area to fade. So unless there's some kind of a crazy jump and pop back off the $5 level, trading it off of 5 is not going to be a high probability chance anymore. But there's equal opportunity that this ends up a reversion at the $6 level. And all I'm really looking at, I just go to a 15-minute chart. All I'm really looking at in terms of that 6 is that you start to fill in this gap to the lows, right? So, this is actually 620. So I don't the closer it gets to there is when I would look for a reversion on OpenDoor. Like, let the squeeze happen. Obviously, taking a 5-10 break or something like that is not the case. If it sets up for a dip buy, great. But now that it's on the turn, I think just maybe look for the fade. I can't think of I can't think of too many names that are kind of like this one where, sure, they managed to beat, but they were telling you their revenue was going down by over 30% next quarter. Like, they're just telling you in their restructure, this is going to be painful. And then you throw in factors like dilution. I don't know. I question how much it can squeeze today. It's already given you, a good 10% off the lows here. So I'll wait patiently for that 6 level because the breakout's gone.
So in the chat, we have a request for a cat story or so. Yeah, her name is Alex now, apparently, and it's Ali, and she loves chilling out in the boxes. An UGG box, too. There she is. So notice this, Neil, in the background.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
You see the cheese head?
Hold on a second. Do you wear that during the...
No. It's actually, there's like a whole... there's a bunch of Green Bay things here. I've tweeted it out before. Maybe I'll get her to send a picture. But yeah, she's eating well, going up and down the stairs. Each kid has had it in their room the last 2 nights. And yeah, things are going absolutely fantastic with it. And I guess we have a new cat now in the house. I'll find some more pictures throughout the show for everybody. But everything's going well, eating kibble and doing really well. We rescued it, basically. It was all alone. We think it's about 8 weeks old. It was in our back green belt there, all by itself. And my wife has gone every day to look to see if its family is around. But in our neighborhood, we do have some stray cats and everything. So I don't know. That's probably what, just what it was there. So my wife's in touch. But now we can't. Now it's game over. We have to keep that thing. Yeah, so and it's funny because my dog is fine with everything. They're actually playing around with each other. So that's been a good one. There, I would love a coffee. Tim's coffee or our coffee? You want to go to Tim's?
Hey, Randy,
sure.
I'm buying. But can you get his like the protein one. What's it?
Yeah, it's the yeah. We had a bet about Movember. You want Neil to grow a mustache, by the way?
No, don't change the subject. Don't change the subject.
Neil, you want Neil?
Why you change the subject?
You already have a mustache.
No, we're supposed to.
Yeah, it's
They have some.
Just tell them that they have a protein coffee thing because we were talking about it on the show. Yeah, it's, the milk is protein. They'll know. Or if they don't, just get a normal one. But Neil will take black.
Yeah. But if they do, then we both want one. Otherwise, I'll take one.
All right, this segment's falling off the rails over here.
Appreciate it.
Or don't. It's fine. We can get it in the afternoon. Don't worry about it.
I only thought because you
Or we could just get this coffee, Randy. Don't go out. No, it's fine. Me and Neil can organize this. We should actually get a big thing of Tim's, actually.
Oh,
Tim Hortons coffee today. Okay, so we talked about Tesla. We talked about coffee. We talked about the cat. We talked about the dog a little bit. We talked about cheese heads. We didn't talk too much. Neil talked about OpenDoor. I think there's a chance for it to rally today, to be honest with you. It's already starting to go. I just think that we've already seen, the Open Army knows what power they can have with the options and everything like that. I heard a cool story yesterday, and I didn't even realize this, but Adara, Eric Jackson reached out to Adara. He retweeted one of her posts, and we're trying to figure out, I don't think there's been much of a response yet, but we're trying to organize him to come on the show.
Yeah.
which would be pretty awesome if we were able to do that. So yeah, just watch out. That level looks like 480 to me, pretty clean down there. 5 is even pretty clean as well. I mean, if we can get this dude on the show, let's bring him on, man. I really want to talk to him if we can, and I think that would be a lot of fun to have Adara interview him and then come over here and maybe we can take some questions from the audience and whatnot if we can get him on and figure out what the reason for this move higher is or what the base case is again for OpenDoor. But better guide, which is nice.
Yeah.
So they lost 8 cents versus 7, so not that great there, but sales better, guide better. Okay. I mean, if we get more government data, right, and we can sort of quell the concern of job losses and things like that and where this job market really is, and hopefully it's higher and stronger than we think, that should help the real estate market. I don't think it is either.
I don't know if it will be. I don't know if it will.
No, I don't know if it will be either. But I think the lack of data and all the talking heads leads people to believe one way when it may be the other way. It's not. It's just that's what data is. We got to see it before we, can analyze it. So yeah, I think a better housing market will definitely help OpenDoor. So let's see if we can get more government data, and maybe that's one of the rally points here for them. I think once the government is back, I think OpenDoor, we'll get a little bit of a tailwind there on the government.
Yeah, that should help.
I haven't looked at Kalshi yet, though. Hold on a second. I know Brendan and Sharif are like, shut these guys up, probably. Oh, I'm not even. Oh, no. Okay, I have to type in here government.
Pro football.
Oh, because we were looking yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
Will the government open this year? Oh, no, here we go. Yeah, what? There was odds for will the government open this year?
Come on.
So 49 days, essentially. We are on day 37, day 38 right now.
That's just...
So 10 more days. The biggest effect are the airlines.
Yes.
As we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving and all that travel. We already heard yesterday that it was 10% of flights from the 40 major airports have been rolled back.
I think it's over by Thanksgiving, but...
Me too. I mean, I would, well...
I also thought it was going to be over shortly.
I don't have any logic to think that way, but yeah. I would hope that it comes. I mean, here's President Trump, right? And I mean, he's talking about the problems in Nigeria and many other countries. Meanwhile, the government is not even open in his own country. So I'm hoping that can be focused again and we can get back on track with that. And I hope everybody is doing well with all of this and those checks start rolling in very, very soon. So. All right, that's, and
Intel was supposed to be a
talk about
story.
Government being shut down, but we have enough money to invest in Intel, that's for sure.
And now they're
so let's go find out what the story here is with Intel.
It was interesting this morning. I was listening to an analyst talking about these airlines and the effect that this is going to have on the airlines. And they basically equated it to a really bad winter storm in many areas across the U.S., which kind of implies that it's 10%, but it's not that bad overall for now anyways. Exactly. But then in the same sentence, they also implied that this could run right through to Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving.
A few weeks away, Brendo.
Which is a whole nother discussion and a huge disaster. So, yeah, let's talk Intel. This was the giant green candle that formed on Elon Musk essentially saying, yeah, we'll probably do something with Intel. He also said they can't buy enough chips at this point, whether it's TSMC, whether it's Samsung. He even said TSMC, when they make their U.S., Arizona fab, they're going to buy all those too, and then they still won't have enough. So then he threw in, why not talk to Intel as well?
Exactly. He said he's got chips on his mind, word for word. Let's talk about what he said, Brendo. Elon Musk said Tesla will probably have to build a gigantic chip fab to meet demand for its upcoming AI5 chips powering self-driving and robotic systems. He floated the idea of partnering with Intel. He added, quote, no deal has been signed, but it's worth having discussions. In case you don't know, the AI5 chip is Tesla's 5th gen processor expected to drive the next phase of autonomous. Intel, as we know, has been searching for large external clients to fill, that new advanced manufacturing fabs. We saw a possible deal with AMD, none with Nvidia, though, despite Nvidia's investment. Tesla currently uses, as Brendo mentioned, chips built by TSMC in Taiwan and Samsung in Korea for FSD. The AI5 prototype is going to debut in 26 with mass production slated for 27. The AI6 generation, which are actually working on mid-28, Brendo. And he said 1/3 of the power draw of NVIDIA's Blackwell chips, and it's going to cost 10% as much to manufacture. I'm talking about the AI5.
Yeah.
So apparently you'll be able to make them in bulk without breaking the bank.
And we were talking about this before we came on this morning, but what was really interesting about what he was saying was because they won't have to accommodate all these other OEMs who are trying to shoehorn their products onto a chip, it'll be a lot more simplistic and a lot more easier to manufacture from that standpoint. This is just for them.
And it's vertical integration. It's perfect, right? It cuts out the middlemen and maintains margins.
Intel, guys, right back to, we gave all that back, right back to basically where it ended yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's another potential long-term client for their fab business, but it's potential. Like NVIDIA is a potential long-term client for them, but they're not one yet. So, look, I actually like Intel for a trend break today, but the problem with that is it actually has to break out over 28. If it gets to 28, you're buying Intel. 38 today, which doesn't seem, it seemed a heck of a lot likelier 30 minutes ago. But right now, looks like we're trending a little bit away from it. I was never really thinking too much of a dip buy. I might consider a trend reversal, but I was looking for this to, like, look at the clean downward trend. Like, if it could break out that 38, I thought there was a clean runway, at least to some of those highs. But that's seeming very unlikely. You're almost $1 away here now on Intel. So have that one in the back pocket. Now that it's gone red again, I guess this is the only context in which we'll be able to talk about chips. In the chip space, I'm actually looking for like continuation shorts on AMD now that it's lost 236. Like double-day support there. This broke trend on the daily, like this trend line right there. So you're breaking underneath what was a prior uptrend that was trying to hold the last couple of days, and now you're breaking under. So short back into the prior low. I'll favor that and VWAP, although yeah, VWAP will be a bit skewed because of that pre-market print, so I'll have to wait for, I won't care about the volume-weighted average price, let's just say, until we get enough data that this isn't skewed anymore. So 36 will be the level, at least initially, and we're willing to be patient for it. On Friday, just a little bit more patient than normal.
Yeah, I think patience today is going to be a key thing. I don't, that story to me on Intel is just talk. Like, we still have to play the downtrend in the space. I think, as Neil mentioned, it's going to be a good longer-term story for them if they can secure, you know, production. I mean, this is true of any company, no matter what business you're in. I was actually watching an Office episode when I was at the dentist, you know. It's funny because they have the screen in front of you, then they have the screen above you. And I was actually laughing a lot. It was the one where Michael Scott goes to, oh, I forget the guy's name, Ryan, his university there. And Ryan's already said the business is going under. And Michael's there to tell him how good the business is, but he doesn't realize that Ryan said the paper business is a dying one, and which I guess is probably right. And anyways, he's like, well, all you need to do is produce a thingamajig, and then you will get a payday. And these are chocolate bars that he's throwing out. And then you will get 100 grand, and that was another chocolate bar. And I'm just sitting here, and he's throwing it, and the kids and the students in the classroom are just looking at him, and he's throwing the chocolate bars, you know, like he's at these individual people. And I'm just like, yeah, that's basically how business works. If you can find demand, and then create some sort of demand and then provide that supply and then sell it, then you can make a little bit of money. So when I look at Intel, I think the same kind of thing. If they can find a contract here, I think that's a great thing. But for right now, I mean, the whole space isn't worried about anything, man. I mean, we're seeing $100 billion deals for companies, and that stock is going down. This is just Elon Musk saying, well, you know, we could do business with Intel. So I'm taking all that with a grain of salt, but I do think it's a great forward-looking tailwind and a positive mention for Intel. So we'll say bang on that one. Well, we don't even have my Stream Deck open, but we'll say bang on that one, or congratulations or awesome or whatever. But I think that is a good move forward for Intel and a good look and a good mention. So for me today, though, Intel remains a short. Any kind of pops, we'll deal with that as it happens. I'm still not convinced that the NASDAQ is going to tank today. I'm just waiting for it. We're at some key levels right now. Let's watch to see if 25,000 holds. I don't want to you know, put a sort of a nail in Intel here. Let's wait and see. Not too convinced about that. All right, Affirm and Airbnb with only 6 minutes left.
Actually up today, those two.
We'll get into the earnings here for Affirm, but interesting chart here to show. This is price action at the bottom. This is the high, median, and low average analyst target right now for Affirm, heading in the opposite direction, basically, from anything that resembles price. So Affirm well below where everyone thinks it should be.
Oh yeah, it's been a tough year for Affirm, Brendo. But let's talk about the guide here and the earnings report. It was a good report, guys. Revenue was up 34% year over year. Now just a little bit below $600 million on the quarter, beating the expected estimates by Wall Street. Their gross merchandise volume continues to grow 42% year over year. We'll explain why in a second when we talk about their tie-ups with some of the hyperscalers. Adjusted loss per share, 23 pennies, narrower than 57, so a beat on the top and bottom line. Their key drivers, Brendo, they're saying the Affirm card adoption, the buy now, pay later spending. Surprise there, but net income continues to rise sharply. About 1/3 of the company's revenue now comes from net interest income. Let's talk a little bit about buy now, pay never, or as Sean likes to call it. The company noted a pickup in discretionary spending, especially, guys, for travel, electronics, and online retail. The Affirm card as well, usage grew sharply. They're guiding decent as well. They're saying Q2 full year 2025, they're guiding revenue above $1 billion for the first time. That's above consensus. And they say, as I mentioned, 1/3 of total revenue now, Brendo, comes from net interest income. And the strategic partnerships that continue to grow with Amazon, Apple, Shopify, Walmart, all broadening, I should say, consumer access.
As you said, a lot to look at this morning. Not a lot of volume behind Affirm yet. The market just tried to make another move down there. It looks like we are trying to hold the pre-market lows, but Wall Street Journal reporting the Senate considering a revised plan now to end this government.
Yeah, that would be nice. Make sure I have my news service turned on so I can hear those things too.
I don't have it turned on.
Like Affirm, yeah, you know what? Affirm would have been more interesting to me had there been like a clean bounce opportunity for a trade off the 200 period. Like it's already kind of dipped off that 65 a couple times. It's only $5 away. It's entirely possible it gets down there yesterday's lows and gives you a secondary bounce. But without that, I am unlikely to be trading it. Just wanted to point out that's grown. It's all sell and bounces except for whatever this AZI stock is to the buy. But Figma is now almost at 1.5 million sell and balance. It was 1.2 minutes ago, and now 1.45 sell and balance. Jameson just asked me, and a name that's on the note for myself today is silver. There was news yesterday about silver and copper getting put in, getting added as critical metals by the U.S. government. And I'm just looking at that resistance. I think there's a chance it can break out. I don't know if that breakout through 45 happens today, but I do want to be like long in front of this resistance at 43.8 and then playing into that breakout if it happens. Like I want to be long going into that break. So if it breaks out the top, I just want to be a buyer above the volume weighted average price into that high in silver. But Affirm, unless it sees that 200 period on the daily, no trade for me.
I wanted to just take a quick look here because there's some people talking, obviously, as we should, about the NASDAQ in general, and trying to think about where there could be some longs. So, just looking here, we had a nice little get up, and then now we're trying to figure out, where, if we're going to go long at any sort of a spot. Like this area here on the NASDAQ, sort of where we started back 2 weeks ago, into that sort of bull run into earnings, and now we've seen earnings and we're starting to fade back again. So I still think that we had some great earnings reports come through this, this round, and obviously, and I wrote this on my sticky note as well, we're getting influenced by many of names like Affirm, like Airbnb, like some of these names that are just moving dramatically, SMR and all that, and they are giving a negative tone to the market. But I think if we can get back into this area, 603, 604 on the Qs, and if we go to TQs, because that's what I'll be trading, I think the TQs are going to split soon anyways. I'm trying to research that. They split all the time. But down, so it's the same levels. So like 103, I'm sitting there already to see if we can get some dip buy opportunities into that area. So just for some talk there in the chat for Go Bills and everything like that was saying they can't wait for me to go long the futures. It's going to be around here, or just stay with me, and if something changes, you'll hear me. I'll hit the little old siren here when we're into new positions and whatnot. So I do like the futures trying to hold out right there. Tesla, by the way, and we're going to go back over because we have Airbnb talk still, but Tesla's still moving lower. It already took that 440. So 440 is the level that I wrote down as my #1 trade idea onto here. Now it needs to at least take it once, you know, maybe fade off that break, give us another bottom, and then maybe the second time through we can rip this. But for right now, I'm not going to punch long 440 if it breaks higher. I'm just going to wait to see if we can break it, potentially go up to 442 or so, come back in, then we'll see if we can get the juice back to the upside, because we do know that there's going to be buyers on this. So let's wait to see and keep on our hands for Tesla. Okay, 1 minute left for Airbnb.
We're just going through some of the data points here for Airbnb. Pretty impressive right across the board. That being said, price action, not a lot to look at this morning. We're kind of chopping around here. Again, very lightly traded this morning, but right across the board, I mean, I was just pointing out gross bookings, 22.9 billion, up 14% year over year, just monster numbers.
And that beat the estimates by $1 billion, Brendo, so that was blown by the estimates there. This is a good report, guys, irregardless of the price action. It's a really good report. Strong Q3 earnings, EPS of 221. That was the only silver lining. That missed the 234 expected by the street, but revenue came in at 4.1 billion, beating the expectations and growing at a 10% year-over-year pop. Net income, guys, more than $1.25 billion in take-home money, up marginally from what they took home.
10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
We can go back to the guys. Great report, guys, for Airbnb.
That's all right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, no, look, Airbnb.
It's up 4 points.
I like the stock, but I don't like the environment, as we said, right? I mean, it's a lot of the people that are using Airbnb are the more privileged, I would say, and maybe more affluent, I should say, is probably a better word. So I just think right now with job market and the market going downside, it's just what it is.
And OpenDoor is now only down 15%.
Yeah,
I guess it is squeezing. The squeeze is real from the bottom, despite, I mean, the guy was a beat, so it is. Oh, you did get it. Oh, Randy, you didn't have to.
These are protein lattes, right?
Thanks, brother. Oh,
and a Dutchie and apple fritter.
Oh, thanks.
Were these called protein lattes? Or what did you say?
Protein. Oh,
huh?
Oh no, we're supposed to both have protein.
No, it's fine as long as you get.
This is black. Here, you take the protein one.
You mislabeled it. That's the protein.
Okay, we'll get to this in a second.
Right.
Thank you, Randy.
AMD is moving to the upside here.
Yeah, right now Google. So Tesla's right now tanking into 435. So this move right here, we will wait to see if there is any kind of a bounce here at all for Tesla. So down to 433. Tesla's right now is getting hit pretty good right now. So if you're fighting the shorts, you're with them, I would say, not fighting them. Market just made a move down as well.
Yeah, the market's making the move down. Nvidia, I was just looking over because AMD is popping, which it's done before at the open. Come on, load.
Google's at 280, by the way, too.
Yeah, Nvidia's breaking lower. I just wanted to be able to show you guys that as AMD is doing one of its early pops. So looking for the play back into the prior high. It just took out, I mean, VWAP is not that big of a deal this early, but I'm trying to get 235 half in here. I'm not even sure it's going to get there. I'm gonna have to shoot, maybe let another bar open up here, but it's this and OpenDoor that I got the eyeballs on. AMD and Open, which is getting real close to this $6 very fast. The OpenDoor is filling.
Really? Okay, good.
It's at it hit 580, and if it gets a little tighter into that 6, I'm just not too much of a believer. I'm looking to fade this one, but you got to let it calm down a bit. And we should have the halt bands today if it halts.
Oh, good.
So I'm crossing my fingers that feature is going to be in there for us. Not that I'm wishing a halt on it, but I just want to get a look at it.
All right, we got it almost $1 right now. We are into one position right now. Google, we mentioned that we wanted it for strength. It's right into here. I wrote down, that's still Tesla. I was still watching it, sorry. There's Google right here. I wrote down 276 as like the zone of how far we go down. Let's see where it goes. But for right now, we're into Google on that early flush. Just took a piece out at 281.50. Next stop, VWAP 282. So let's go again. 281.80 is good enough for me. Let's put an offer there. If it breaks 280, we're gone on this one. This is just a try for an early bounce play here on Google. We're long Google, looking for more right now. Okay, so Tesla is now officially like cracked a lot of those levels, man. That's why we mentioned to you about 440. Wanted to see it get taken back to the long side before we did anything. And right now, man, it is downside for Tesla. No need to trade this. We've already got a banger right here, man. We're 80 cents in the money. So let's go, man. Spin it for everybody trading with me right here today. That's going to be a good one so far as we go 1 for 1 right now. Position pending, of course. I'm going to take one more piece out here at 60. If we can get it, there it goes. We did get that out. We did get 88s. Okay, Siren thumbs up right now is now we are $1.30 in the money all the way to the upside for Google. So there it goes. And just again, I always say this, but there's our daily goal is now hit if we were to flatten this trade. Obviously, it's coming back in a little bit, but just want to show you it's 933. There you go, one trade, and it's good. But, you know, we're here to trade more, so let's keep on looking. But Google right now, 1 for 1 so far. That's a nice.
It's a nice.
That's a nice one.
There's a lot of Borat yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Which is fine. AMD just absolutely tanked, but Open got right into that 580 area. Couldn't really break 585. I mean, someone stepped up there, but you're going to see probably like huge sellers all over the place. So I don't know how much that's going to matter. I now see him move to 587, so I've kind of figured he might do that. So I've just moved in front. My stop in front, I should say. So they're at 85, now they're at 87. And I say they, I just mean there was a single order. So I'm gonna drop my stop there. I'm bidding silver now. It just did a wick bottom through the pre-market low and trying to head higher, so it held that prior low. And I thought I was bidding. I'm gonna bid now, because I put a midpoint in there, see if I can pick it up. You know what? Oh, I did get filled. I was about to move my order, but I actually got picked up. So silver to the low of the current low is going to be my out on that bad boy. And I know a lot of people are looking at Tesla right now, falling like an absolute rock.
Yeah, is it still?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even looking at it anymore.
Yes, it is. 428 now on Tesla. You got to zoom way out. I was saying 420 because that's the 50 period on the daily. So I didn't think this was like a low probability event, in my opinion, off of the open. It went from a low probability to a decent probability. So I got this one on the radar because I'm not going to get AMD. AMD, bye-bye. AMD's gone. That's kind of frustrating. But
yeah, that's the market is still going lower right now. And by the way, I'm filled at SMR at 30, so that's nice. SMR now $28 and getting absolutely smoked, literally cut in half from its high right there. So now it's getting worse here for SMR as this continues to go lower. A trade that I liked short as well today was Block, but I wanted to go short under 60. That did not happen yet. So Block right now, nice move to the downside, bless you. As that continues to move lower here is SMR. So watch out for that. That's SMR. I don't know why my chart's not flipping over to Block. Block is going higher. So we were waiting for a $60 break or so on this one. Doesn't seem like that's happening now at all. So we're going to give that a little bit of a breath right now. The other trade that we wanted, Neil's already talked a little bit about OpenDoor, Tesla, Google, I'm in, SMR, and Block. So we sort of talked about all the names I wanted to do. I know there's been some dip buy opportunities that some traders have taken on Meta. Has not paid yet. And I just think that, yeah, you want to buy good companies regardless of the market. But right now, I think in tech, as I've already said, I don't like it. And Meta goes lower again today, down another 1% as we continue lower on this market. And the TQs are getting close, man. I said 103 change for these guys. And there it is, man, almost immediately as the NASDAQ drops 1% right into some levels here. I don't know, man.
By the way, I'm out of that silver. We took it at 95. It broke 85, so we'll give it that 10 cents. It doesn't look like we're going to hold any kind of an uptrend. But OpenDoor, it's SSR, which, you know, it is what it is. I'm always going to have a stop. But when it topping tail candles like that, I'm looking to always try to re-enter the trade right away. But you can't hit the bid because it's short sell restricted. So when it does you and wicks you out, it's harder to get right back into it, unfortunately, but it is headed down to the volume weighted average price. Tesla's now breaking.
Tesla's like, oh my God.
It's now breaking 425, so 420 is coming in pretty quick. So this is it. Yep. 420 is the 50 period on the daily, 420 is a psychological level, 420 is a support level if you zoom the chart back out. And it looks like Tesla's on a collision course with that level right quick. I saw someone in the chat say WEN was halted, and my scanner wasn't open. Okay. Oh, crap. I wanted to see the halt bands on this.
Oh,
Wendy's is halted to the downside, volatility.
Wendy's, okay.
That's a sentence I never expected to say, but that is actually, to be honest, I didn't believe it, and my scanner wasn't up. But Wendy's is halted to the downside. They reported and were up 9% and now halted down. That's a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these companies are just getting hit again today, man. Another 1.1%. Well, Wendy's is not the right operator in the space. You want McDonald's over there, I would say.
But why? It doesn't trade enough to halt.
Okay, so we had our day goal. Now we've for flat now.
Holy
because again, we did not flatten it all out, and we had said that we were up there, and there it goes right back in. So now we're flat again on the day. So did not take it all out and just fell right back in. We did retry it there, but look at the market, man. Okay, well now it's starting to bounce again. So let's see if we can. Oh, boo! We took it out there at a 280 break. Let's give it a little bit more. There, Wendy's now resumes trading apparently. So we can go over and have a quick look at that. So that low was 279 change. We'll see if we can get that again. We did get back in there, but, oh no, we didn't get back in. We didn't get filled back in. Okay, tried to buy that dip again there on Google and missed it. Hopefully, there, we should be in. What am I bidding over here? Oh, 40s, okay. There, oh, got missed again. All right, well, we're gonna try to dip buy again on this name. It looks like we might have just made the bottom there or so, down into the 80s for Google. So yeah, I still like the name, but don't want to chase it too far right now. Tesla's the one I want to get involved with, because the chance of going back upside is still quite hard, quite huge here for Tesla. Let's take a small shot here at 426.50 and just see if we can hold that low of 424. Maybe we do have a nice opportunity to get back to the upside right now. We're long Tesla right here. Let's take something out if we can get, okay, there it is. So right now we're $1. There's $1 on Tesla. So let's just keep on going. That might have been a good idea, but we got to get it out first before you start to celebrate anything. There's some outs again at 427.15s. We're going a little higher on Tesla. Let's see if it can work.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for the reversion in that, but also
Probably
silver
not.
as well, as that's trending back into the downside. So when we're falling this way, you got to have some kind of a trend break or get to another key level. Otherwise, let it fall. This is what was happening yesterday on Tesla, a whole wealth of names. AMD, yikes, that short is pretty much come and gone. We're going to cancel my order on OpenDoor, as Open's now all the way back into VWAP. So if there's a chance to hold this on trend, it's going to be essentially right in here. I like that short into 6, but when it's at 550, almost have to look for the other side of the scalp trade. So whichever one of these things can break trend first, Tesla, silver, or OpenDoor hold trend, the other two break trend, I'll be into. It actually might be silver right now.
All right, we got our day back already there on Tesla. Here it goes. Let's see if we can really make something happen here for Tesla. We are now $2 in the money right now, so let's go. We'll see if we can get this going up. There we go. We'll take some more out. Yes, go. All right, 250 now in the money on Tesla. We got the bottom here potentially. I mean, potentially. Who knows where it's going to go. Let's start to get a little bit more out. Okay, we're out of half now on Tesla. Good move, man. 250 now in the money. I do have another offer at 428.40s. Hopefully we can get back up to that level there, but that's what we're doing right now. We just tried it. We got it. We got the long here on Tesla. The long is not working out for us, though, on Google. It is on Tesla, not on Google. Google continues to fall back in. We went back to the well when we should not have. 279 looks like it wants to break here for Google, but Tesla so far so good. Google's the problem.
Meta 600 might be a thing as well.
What? That's that low?
606.
Oh, gosh.
Just now.
Hold on.
Tracking, look, there's a lot moving. I appreciate everyone doing this, and I'll actually make sure that we have the visualizer up. I did not have it up before. OpenDoor, Tesla, and Meta are the top 3. That's why I just went over to Meta. Make sure you type in the $sign for everyone that's putting in ALB.
$5.
Make sure you throw that one in there as well. So Open is going right back into that 6 level. This is where we had the fade before. We'll see if it does it again into VWAP. We're into silver, but keep an eye on Meta and $600. Should be trouble getting through that bad boy on a Friday.
Neil, $7 now on Tesla. Oh boy, we did it. We finally did it, man. Let's go, man. Let's go. See how much we can get going on this one. And the thing is, man, I learned my lesson already because I was too focused. Wow, this is a good trade, guys. I mean, I hope that you guys are here for the fun, but also here for some of the trades. Like, there it goes, man. 426 to 431. We're long 425.20s right now on Tesla. But what I was going to say is, to my own demise, because as I was focusing on Tesla, I actually forgot to put stops in on Google. So we should have got out like at 279.50 on that kind of a break. So we won't necessarily average back into this one. We're getting out on any kind of pops right here for Google because this one's the sick one. It's Tesla that's helping us today. It's Google that's hurting. So we'll go 1 for 2 with the big one, obviously, over there on Tesla. Looks like right now Google, though, is coming straight out. And that's, honestly, every trade I put on is my fault, whether or not it's a winner or a loser. I just should have focused. I completely lost track of this Google because we are looking at this monster over here. So hopefully this can help us a little bit, and Google can get back up to the upside as well. So far so good here, man. That's a monster trade on Google, on Tesla, guys. We actually put on some decent amount of shares, and there goes Tesla, still to the upside, getting more out of Google. What's up, Adara?
I just want to mention here, USAR and MP, both of them reported earnings last night, so their day one earnings plays. But we also have some commentary to, I guess, look at from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, saying that the U.S. is, quote, on our way to solving China's chokehold on rare earths. So rare earths commentary coming from U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent, in addition to day one earnings plays for both USAR and MP. No data at 9:45, but in roughly 17 minutes, we will be getting the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment print, the first print or the preliminary print here for November. That number also includes a 1-year and 5-year inflation estimate. So stay tuned. I'll give that coverage for you guys. Back to you.
We'll get up in a second.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So as we keep on mentioning the same names, but honestly, man, like I'm just getting more out of Google here as it pops up through. Like I don't even want this name to be a winner at this point. Honestly, it's not. I'm just trying to get some more out. So there we go. Take some 40s out again. If it runs, great. We could have an absolute monster on our hands for sure. But all right, so fading out at 430 right now. Take some more out as we start to pop through. Still $5. We did really good, man, for that. Of course, we're waiting for VWAP, but as we note here, the market doesn't wait for anybody, and it's coming back in pretty good here as well. So we'll still wait on Tesla. That might have just been a relief rally there. So we are out of about 70%, holding, actually probably a bit more, probably holding about 25 to 25% of this Tesla trade. And then again, if Google breaks, and we're out of that one. That's so stupid of me. I could have saved a lot of money by not even being in that one. That's my mistake on that. XYZ, man, Block was crushed in the pre-market and battling back nicely, man. We were down to $60, down 15%, now only down 10 and change here for Block. So, not necessarily the lagger there that I thought there was a chance for XYZ to be, but it looks like it's going to be okay after all. Okay. What else, man? Is Intel moving? What are you in? You're in SMCI?
Not into Intel, but I'm into SMCI for some continuation. It's looking, AMD is so far away from my level that I just don't think there's any chance, but SMCI downtrend for like a couple of days on earnings, underneath the volume weighted average price and the prior low, so have this one short. I'll give it to VWAP. Just to give it a little more room. It is the opening range, so you have to respect it still. It's only 9:45. We have at least another 15 minutes or so for some of those candles. I even said, there was a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to trade until I had 15-minute candles on them. Silver does, initial dip holds, but then it goes into the prior day high or resistance level at 43.75 or so. That's where I get in. Always scalp some out to VWAP, and then play it into the high of the day. If this ends up trending and breaking out the high, I want more longs above VWAP and above that prior high. But for now, it's a dip into 44 for that bad boy. So let's see if the chips go back down. I've got SMCI. Intel was, look, that story it's a fun story. And I think ultimately if Elon ever did something with Intel, it would be huge, but they've already sold it off. And the place that I needed it to hold above just didn't happen. Exactly at the 38. It's funny, I was like, 38's the key level it needs to hold over, and 38's exactly where it dumped. So I might not end up trading some Intel. And when that happens, I just go to something that we've been trading every day, SMCI. Oh, you got one.
Here we go.
Oh, thanks.
Randy got us one black and one protein. So we're gonna split it right here to see what it tastes like.
And give the verdict, because I think it's gonna be fun.
Right now. Yeah. So go ahead, taste it. I just wanted to tell you guys, it has 20 grams of protein. So I think this is about 30. It was 20 grams in a medium. He got a large. So.
Oh, that's well, I can't.
All right, it tastes pretty good. It tastes like normal, tastes like a normal latte to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I know maybe you don't drink lattes.
I don't drink lattes enough to tell you if it's normal, but it seemingly tastes normal to me.
So, no, it's not that expensive. No. So I think it's like $3, something like that, maybe $3.50.
It's got 20 grams of protein and it's only $3.
Yeah. I saw the medium ones, I think, is $3.49. This is a large. Okay, so I just want to say we got saved there, man. Like when we
really
went
good.
to go get it, like this ripped right back up to 280 Google. We did get stopped out when it did break that low again, but look at this. We were layering all of our outs there. So that was a good area right there. And we still wind up getting hit on that. Google will be a red stock today, that's for sure, as the whole market just continues to fall down in. And I don't know where there's going to be a bid, man. We said 103. It looks like right now we are trying to hold here on the TQs. So I'm going to try here on this space and see if we can get something for this. So we'll buy a little bit right here at 09. We just missed a punch of 103. So I am waiting down. Come on. We were waiting down there for that trade.
Open.
Oh, well,
flying.
there it is. What's up to Go Bills, man? You said you wanted to know when we're in the futures, and there it is. We just punched long for you, and boom, what a move back there as we did the work. We showed you that we liked that 103 area on the TQQs, right? So there it is. Nice move back in. And just if you guys are wondering why I said that, it's right into here. We already went all the way back. We did it. We drew this trade up, and there it goes. Boom goes a dynamite. Huge trade now on the Qs back to the forward side of it, but I only have one unit. I tried to punch more at 103, actually. Didn't even realize that, but there it goes. Hopefully we come back in and able to fade that a little bit. Google is a disaster. We'll probably stay away from that one for now, but Tesla goes right back to the upside now, looking for a 429 out. If we can get that, but yeah, good trade there on the TQs, man. I hope we got the bottom, but I don't think so. You know, looking to see, like, I'm not going to stop out until we get back into here 102.50. So I just want to see if that is going to hold or not. But there's a couple one quick out on the upside. We only took out 10%. So here comes the fade right back in, man. All longs, Neil. I mean, you're in SLV, which will hopefully be a little bit of a different situation here. But there we go. We get longer on the TQs as it just falls right back. Wow. So here we go, man. Falling right now. The market is not stopping. I think we need to fade pops and just go short and stop trying to catch these
Free fall
bottoms.
Friday? Can we throw that super chat up? I don't have the page.
Potentially free fall Friday.
Control Alt is. Oh no, sorry, it's a different super chat.
Ooh.
Ashar.
What do we got,
Malik,
Ashar?
GM Nvidia for long, good at 100-day average, 50-day moving.
It's
average.
really good. Yeah,
It is.
One did come black, but that's okay. We split the one,
it's
and Neil
fine.
likes black coffee anyways.
Yeah. So just the first thing I will tell you is I look at 50-period moving averages, not 100 days. So I don't even have
Rivian's
100 on my
1440.
chart. But NVIDIA is losing the 50-period moving average as we speak. We said this yesterday. This stock has not been respecting it as a clean line. It's been dipping underneath and then recovering. So right now it's dipping underneath. So I use the indicator based on how the stock respects it, and it's not respecting it as a hard line. I expect it could close underneath for a couple of days before you get any kind of a bounce. And General Motors has been a great chart. It's hard. It would be hard for me to buy this up here. If this were to, it's going to take a minute for this to get to the 50 period. Like, you're talking about a 10% dip in GM. I mean, if you like it and it dips 10%, sure, but I know I wouldn't buy GM up here. I do not feel that confident in it, even though I much prefer that to Ford. I used to own GM. I just don't anymore. Oh yeah, we just made the turn
Tesla
there.
just turned again.
Even silver has a chance to go, even if the market doesn't, as I would think, but it got right to VWAP and pull back in. I only got 2/3 out. Probably should have gotten a little bit more than that. So I'll look to see if I can't get a reload, if it can hold this same lower high, higher low. And I missed that second super chat because I was talking about the trade when it got thrown up there. Sorry.
Yeah, so we unfortunately, well, we'll do Beta Pro, but I just want to tell everybody that Tesla did finally break 425, but now it's coming back. Tesla's a big trade for me. It's a big win, but it is coming back into the downside right now. So we did cash out of that and we're into the TQs, but we just showed you Beta Pro. So let's make sure that you remember, if you are looking for triple leverage, we want to thank Global X and remind you that Beta Pro does have a triple levered product, both the TSX 60, treasuries, all of that included here with Beta Pro, semiconductors as well. They're also offering a discount, so you can get better pricing right now, 65 basis points until the 31st of December. So go check them out here, especially if you are one of those sophisticated traders looking for currency hedging on some of your trades. So this is a product for you Canadian investors that are looking to hedge some of your exposure to the US dollar when you're trading Canadian dollars, Canadian names is fine, but Canadian dollars, US names traded in US funds, not as good, because then you are hedging against the, well, you're just playing, you're not hedging, you're just playing the exchange game there. But oh boy, man, again, Like, okay, Tesla's my #1 stock, and we've done real good on, well, no, now the TQs is, but Tesla's a great stock, and thankfully we were able to really rock that early, but then it rocked us at the end. Still very positive. We actually have one-day goal on Tesla alone, but we gave that back with Google, and now here goes the TQs, man. Thank you to Go Bills, man, right there. He said, you gave me the confidence, honestly, to say that you were just waiting. The only trade you were waiting for was when I pushed the buy key on the futures, and that gave me honestly a lot of confidence that, you know, we have been hitting it right lately, so we wanted to get back into it, and we did the work, and there it goes, man. TQs bringing our net back to green, at least today, as we got hit more on Google than we made on Tesla, and you know, no problem discussing that. The Google was a mistake. I should have had a stop order once it broke that 279, or sorry, 279.50. And unfortunately, we didn't do that. We tried to catch the bottom there, and the bottom was not in. So, yeah, not great execution.
It might be in now.
I hope so.
Which leads me to, well, one, potentially I might get that long in Intel. Who knew? The market might take it up instead of the Elon story. But SMCI reloaded in front of the pre-market low, and it's putting in higher lows. So I've said this story before. If I'm shorting something on a structure like this, and it puts in the higher low, you got to scalp out because the market's trying to make that turn. Because if it's going to stair step down like this, you'll have you'll have lots of opportunities to get in, right? Like yesterday, there were tons of pops on SMCI. But when it does that stair step up, you've got to be wary of it at least early. You can always jump back in here, jump back in here. So I'm thinking the same thing. So I just took another leg out just to scalp some out. That way, if it breaks out this local high, I'm not down on the stock. And I can always re-enter anytime I want. But Intel, believe it or not, Intel could break out high of day, which
oh my God, now
not a lot of names that are, actually OpenDoor is doing that. OpenDoor is at 611. OpenDoor is going ham right now.
I can't believe Tesla's going
But
back
Intel,
down.
I'm thinking I'm going to hold VWAP. I'm going to get on the bit of VWAP actually right now. And if this breaks out 38.10, I said I'm taking a breakout above this price. Maybe the Elon news is a pie in the sky dream, but you know, Intel's trying to break trend anyways. Up 1.5% to a down market. Sometimes Intel's relatively strong.
We almost made the low in Tesla, but I'm still happy with the way we traded it. Like I said, we made enough money that it was fine, but could have done more damage there. And unfortunately, it was just a breaking of that low. And when we broke it, it continued, man, to just bounce completely off of that. I did try to get back long. I do have a bid at 425.50, but missed it, so my bad. So I'm already down about 8% on my SMR, most recent purchase. I just got back into SMR. I sold some at 57. I just put the exact same amount of money back into this name at 30. So that's good. I feel pretty confident, not confident, but I feel pretty good about that trade. Will it work out or not? I'm not so sure, but this is working out grandly. I don't even want to get anything out now until at least VWAP, which is 104 and change. So, well, actually, we're getting pretty close to that right now. Let's go 103.90. We'll take out a decent spot there if we can get it, and we're still in half of our TQQ trade because we just got a whole bunch out up here. These outs were early. That was no problem, and then now we're trying to get some out as we've double topped, triple topped up here right now. You know, Palantir, if the market is going to dive, we already know that this one has the pedigree to do that as well. So Palantir early, nice crash into 170 right there from 176. That was straight down $6. Now trying to recover and get above some of these key levels here. I think if we could take one, I mean, we're already long the futures, man. Oh, boom, we get it. That's your dollar club rate. We've had a lot of good trades here today. There we go. We are now into Greensville, obviously, as these futures. I'm going to take one more piece out. As these futures continue to climb higher right now, man. Go upside right now, says Sean with the NASDAQ. That's what's cooking right now for me. You're in silver. I did want to check gold was another order that I was thinking about picking some more up at, but I'm at 350 right here and have not gotten picked up for GLD yet. So we're going to wait.
Silver bounced off.
Okay.
Silver, well, while we're talking about it,
yeah.
Silver bounced off the 50-period moving average like a couple of weeks ago, actually, and is just trying to continue to the upside. That's why I like it. Intel didn't quite break out the high. It's really close. I think imminently it's going to break out the high. And I said I would wait for a 15-minute bar reversal on Intel. In 2 minutes, Tesla, in 2 minutes, it's going to be one. right? So it's going to be a confirmation bar. So that'll very likely 429 is the close of the first bar and the open of the second. So that would give me a shot as to where I want to get in. The thing I don't like is it's right at volume weighted average price. We'll probably have to scalp some if it happens, but 2 minutes until that bar opens up for us. And speaking of open, bye-bye. It is now filling in the entirety of the gap. I think the one chance to short it, I already had. So, you know, that kind of is what it is. Like, it was the right spot, but unfortunately, you know, I got wicked out and didn't get back in. I'm not doing anything with this until it fills in more of the gap, at least to like a 650 for a reversion. I don't necessarily believe in this one wholeheartedly, but a squeeze is a squeeze. You know, dilution is dilution, but if they want to squeeze it up, they can squeeze it up. Oh, there is a super chat.
Oh, good.
Control to escape. Hey, Neil, I've spent some time talking BTC. Some point heard you in the back of my head saying draw a trend line. It's currently hitting that trend line at 99 from 28K lows. Oh, wow. Okay, I was even unaware of that. So that's trend line. Wow, that's trend line support at 99. Maybe that's why it's double bottoming at 99. That could be a great swing long. I haven't done that myself. I kind of only look at support and resistance on Bitcoin, but that's a good look. If we're holding on to 100,000, anyone that voted green on it yesterday, you're winning because Bitcoin is at 100,700. So pretty good look for them. I didn't have any ideas for IBIT today, but it is, that's a good reversal. And it bounced clean off your support level. That looks really good.
That's so frustrating. Adara?
We also have some numbers here. We're going to be getting the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment print. This is the preliminary print for the month of November. 53 is the forecast, 53.6 the previous print. We're also going to get the 5-year inflation expectation, 3.8% versus 3.9% previous. And 1-year inflation, we're expecting 4.6%, which should be in line with the previous print of 4.6%. Just a couple seconds here until we get these numbers. University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment coming in at 50.3, so that is well below estimates of 53. 5-year inflation expectations, 3.6%. Oh.
Apologies there, a little bit of static on Adara's mic there.
Yeah.
We'll get that fixed. Michigan sentiment just came in. Shoot, let me see if I can't throw that up there. Michigan sentiment comes in 49 versus 50.
That Tesla trades.
November 50.3 versus 53. Current conditions 52.3 versus 59. All of them coming in lower there. I think mics are fixed, so let's go back to Adara.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Some static issues, apparently, and we'll have to see if there's any static in this market as we get, again, as Neil mentioned there, lower than expected University of Michigan consumer sentiment, lower than expected 5-year inflation expectations. So that means people are now expecting that in 5 years, inflation might be a bit lower than previously thought, but the 1-year inflation expectation, the more immediate one, is actually higher than expected at 4.7% versus 4.6%. And that little push up we got on the market has now evaporated. Trying to push a bit lower here is the NASDAQ. Let's talk about TSLA. This is a name that was initially pretty weak, but did get a bit of a recovery over the last few minutes or so. Elon Musk, CEO of the company, had his $1 trillion pay package approved during the shareholder meeting. And during that meeting, he also mentioned the possibility of working with Intel on chips. AFRM also in watch here, one of the many, many names that reported earnings last night or before the bell today. So tons of day one earnings plays on watch. Affirm beating on Q1 2026 EPS and sales. Guidance was a bit tepid. Now, before we send you back to Sean and Neil, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics. Because each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S. There's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics, is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Latte. Yeah,
Thank
20
you.
grams.
Thanks, Adara. And I saw some people in the chat. Why do we care about
28 grams in a large.
but this wasn't a large.
No, this was. This is.
Okay.
I'm just saying the size, but we split it.
No, this is.
So, yeah.
All I was going to say about Michigan, that sentiment number, whether we think it's going to move the market or not, it did. Mm-hmm. You know, like I was here. I'll go to what happened first. Like Intel was a quick break at the high. It didn't continue. Now I'll wait for the volume weighted average price. I was just trying to get that SMCI at VWAP, And unfortunately, that was right when the number hit. So it was curling under VWAP. I'm like, okay, let's go. Number hits, and the stock just tanks 1.5%. So like so much for getting that short. The numbers do matter. Sometimes you can fade in. Like you can, if it's in front of a level like an even dollar, like you can sit in front of it, anticipating you might get swept up. So, you know, if it's not going to do the breakout, I'm not going to hold it all the way to VWAP. That's 10% down, or so that's a 1% down in Intel. I'll wait for it to get into the volume weighted average price and then take a shot at it. And silver is still holding more or less flat. OpenDoor is still trending higher. It just tried to lit grab to $6 and completely gobbled back up to the high of the day. So it's very much on trend, getting close to challenging that post-market 650 level that was so obvious. And you know, with the market heading back in here, I start to look for reversions. Again, the only thing I wanted short was AMD, and I'm kind of by proxy going over to SMCI, which is breaking the low. But this did this before, it did this yesterday, and you could easily pick it up several times when support turned into resistance. So I think joining that trend isn't going to be too hard. Another super chat. Thank you from Vinu.
What up, Vinu?
In the chat. DraftKings up.
What? Is it?
Right, it
okay,
is.
yeah, maybe. That makes sense.
Up 4%. Who knew?
Excuse me.
DraftKings is one of those stocks breaking out. I mean, I was looking at Intel because it's relatively strong. This is an even stronger name. Sometimes it's just like you've fallen so far that it gets to like major support and shorts cover to take profit and all that good stuff. I think that's probably the story here. Look where it accumulated yesterday. Maybe that's a place so you can kind of long the consolidation in front, because if you don't have this at the bottom, I don't know what you do. Like, this is not a chase. The market's about to break the low of the day. I don't know if I chase this up at the highs. Now, we're right at the lows as we speak. Thank you for the super chat there. I believe that was addressed to Adara. I didn't really quite catch it, though.
I missed what it was as well. But okay, right now, just for the TQs right here, we did make another move to the low side. I'm still beside myself on that Tesla trade, but we're still up, so it's fine, but we should have done a little bit better. So here we are taking advantage of that bad Michigan number and trying to get longer here, but also understanding that the market, look, we got a bunch out at VWAP. I've told you I've completely changed the whole style. Like, it's not about holding on to everything and saying when moon. It's when hit certain levels, get out, right? And that's why I'm very, very pleased at what we did with Tesla. Like, when it came back up here into 430 and we were long 425, like, we cleaned it out right there so that when we got back in, we are still very, very positive on Tesla today, but still upset about the trade for sure. And you know, not upset in a way like, oh my God, I'm so upset, but just like, it's too bad that we had dropped that, because that's a trader's life, is you're never gonna hit the tops, you're never gonna hit the bottoms, and every trade you make, there's always better. Like, you could be long here on OpenDoor and have gotten out, I don't even know the price, 620? Right. Yeah, so let's just say you were long here at 530 and you got out at 6. Well, obviously you've done amazing to get out there, but you've left some on the table. Now, it's only going to look bad when it's up here. When it comes back into 570 or 580, then you're like, okay, now it's okay. But you got to make decisions and stick with them. And talk about a decision, there goes the TQs, breaking the day's low again. So our decision is now out of the TQQ, and we stay positive on it, but not nearly as much as we would have been if we had cleaned it all out up there. So every day in this kind of a market, we keep saying this, and it's going to sound like a broken record, but learning more and more every day about different trading styles. And Neil and I have been here for 20 plus years each, and still every day trying to learn more and more here about trading. And I hope that you guys are enjoying it with us. And this is just a way where, if you look back at your account, I've been pretty much like, think more net longs this week than shorts. And you know, you don't blow up your whole account. Sure, you might be red on a day or maybe red on a specific trade, but at the end of it all, the fact that you have stop orders stops you from still being in. Like, when you're wrong, but when you're right, take advantage, clear some out, and maybe hold some for the home run. That is fine, but understand that do not get like the opposite of a home run. Like, don't get like a golden sombrero and strike out like 3, 4, 5 times. You know, just make sure that if you do strike out, get the heck out and let the next batter go.
You gotta have some productive outs.
Yeah, like bunt every once in a while.
Well, maybe not bunt. I think bunting's been overrated.
Maybe bunting's no good.
No, but sometimes you just got to put the ball in play.
Yeah.
You know, and if it happens to move the runner or get a sac fly, that's what it is. There was another super chat in here. Just one thing. I'm looking for this VWAP here on Intel right now. But Uriel in the chat, I have a bearish Apple call credit spread at 11.21. I already feel like this is a joke question. I got a notification of possible early assignment because of Apple's dividend date. Is there anything I can do to avoid this or better to close out? That's a question I'm not equipped to answer that one.
That's a question ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's.
Or, I mean, I don't even know if.
Well, actually, I will say this. Anecdotally, and it's a lot of practice asking ChatGPT between Perplexity, I have found Perplexity to be much more accurate if you're asking financial-related questions.
Perplexity, 100%. Yeah. Finance and research.
Yes.
Only Perplexity, and always fact check too, but Perplexity's better.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, my son actually, it's funny because he was arguing with ChatGPT the other day because he knew something was right and it was saying the other way. So he kept on telling it to double check. And then eventually it found it and he was right. So he was like litigating against, I don't know if he was right or not, but it was just funny to hear what he was saying. And
I want to find that and send that to Joe, though, that question.
Yeah, find it to Joe. Okay, here we go, man. A little bit of a face slapper right now as, there we go, man. We stayed in the TQs. We did get out of 75% on that break. We did buy a little bit more. The reason why is, you see this little profile right here on the futures? The biggest sell candle, despite the opening candle, just happened when we got rinsed out there at a level that I thought was going to hold. Whenever I see that kind of an action, I think it's worth getting back in. This is sort of the profile that I'm looking for. This is a 1 minute chart. It got rinsed. Okay, yes. F, yeah. Right back, yes. Boom, right back there to the upside right there. That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. And there it goes, man. We just got some out at 102.90 there. Nice upside play. Now 75 cents back into the money here for us on the TQs. So we're up on Tesla today. We're up on the TQs and we're down on Google today. But wow, this might be a dip buy here. Like, so many names are at questionable levels now. Like 3% on Google. What their report was crazy good. Right there, and I thought it was like setting the bar.
It was no, there's no question it was a good report.
Okay, there goes TQs, now $1 again. But yeah, so I think that's a good dip buy opportunity, but I still think there's a little bit more to go here. But there we go, man. Look at this move on the TQQs. We did it, everybody.
So I said I'd wait for a 15-minute bar setup on Tesla. So at least, regardless of how it works out, I've waited for it. It wicked the bottom of that 429 just now and snapped right back up. I got it kind of as it was going through 30. I wanted some 29s in there, but for now I got the 30s. The play on the 15 is to like 36-ish. So that's where the target's gonna be. I don't know if I'll get swept at this 430 again. Oh, that was fast on Intel, so I was able to get into one, not the other. Look at the bounce off of VWAP here for Intel. That is absolutely screaming higher. So Tesla, wow. Okay, so Tesla's through VWAP. Remember, the volume-weighted average price is, it matters. To me, it matters more the longer we get in, the further we get on in the day. So I'll respect it. If we can hold above VWAP, that can be a place to add. But 436 is a hard target based on that 15-minute chart. So I said I would trade it only off the 15, and that's where we got the entry from. So it looks like it's going to be a rather quick entry and exit on Tesla.
All right. Oh man, kind of a. I mean, I'm gonna say a day saver because it is. You know, we're green on the day, and we weren't. You know, before this when we had lost on that TQs trade. We were still positive on it, but like I said, we had lost more on Google than we had made on Tesla. But here we go, man. Now it's just rip city right now on the futures. And again, like, just look at the profile. We talked about it. There's that bottom wick. I use volume right there as an indicator more than that bottom wick. And I just want to keep on looking at that. Right now we have about 6 or 7 minutes in a row here of up. For the NASDAQ AAPL. So good trade on Tesla over there, obviously, as that continues to go higher as well. So yeah, good little movement here on the market, and glad that we were able to identify that, talk about it, and go over it with you, because this is a big trade for me anyways, but here we go. All right, I'm gonna guess that Palantir is ripping people's faces off. Wrong. Oh, man. I just said to Marissa, I said, it's so funny because I got to say stuff like this. I said to her, I said, I love coming into work every single day, but I really love being with you more. But once I'm here, it's all good. And this is what we said. She says, that's good. She says, I know you really love that job. And I don't really consider this a job. This is just, for me, it's a passion and just a hobby. But I messaged that to her because this is the kind of thing that I want to encourage with my kids. It's like I tell them that all the time. If you want to be something, just go for it. It doesn't really matter what it is. And if you guys want to be traders, day traders, anything like that, just make sure you love what you do, and that when it gets too frustrating, and this is true of anything, right? Sports, math, anything, schooling, anything. Sometimes it's good just to, like, if you're struggling or getting frustrated with something that you know you really like, sometimes take some time off, switch it up a little bit. You mentioned yesterday about, like, you know, working out and things like that, and it's like sometimes it's good to change up your routine so you don't get bored.
You have to. Yeah, I think you have to.
And I just think that, like, honestly, and I'm not making this up. I show you the chat I sent with my wife, and that was before everything. It's just like as the TQ started going back up, and I started to, like, really feel that this is just such a, I don't know, the adrenaline and the ability to be in front of everybody and be here at Trader TV and what we've really built over, you know, the 7 years. I should probably know how long we've been in operation for.
Well, YouTube, I know that was COVID, so like 2020. The start of 2020 was when we came to YouTube, and we're on like 8 months internally. It was about 8 to 10 months, I feel like.
Okay, yeah.
Because this wasn't even meant to be on YouTube. Like, it was an educational, broadcasted to the other trading floors, not even broadcast, but like streamed to the other trading floors for a couple hours in the morning as like an educational tool for the other trading floors here at Real Trading. And then, and then that quickly changed. And then all of a sudden we were on YouTube, and it just sort of, and then COVID happened and the meme craze happened, and here we are.
Yeah, we do notice that Party P there. The iPhone, Apple takes a percentage of everything. So if you're trying to super chat, he just said sometimes it looks like the Apple was taking something off of his super chat. Yeah, man. I mean, so does YouTube. So it's just the business. The business, right? But don't. We just appreciate anything that you guys are super chatting, and I just hope that you enjoy the show. And again, I mean, like, look, honestly, everything that gets super chatted does not go into, you know, any of our pockets, you know, at all. We put it all back into the show. We've got hopefully some new hires coming. We have more content coming your way as well. We've got Sharif developing every day, his note, you know, Adara, like everybody here. We're trying to make the show, we're not trying, we are making the show bigger and better every single day. And we want to thank all of you for that, because, like, you know, I know there's an ad or whatever at the beginning of this for YouTube, but, you know, ultimately we try to do our best here to keep this, you know, as cost effective for everybody.
A free resource for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So there we go, man. Now $1.70. It's
another one.
Followed by
another one.
And we'll look for
another one.
Because there goes the TQs, man, up to 104.07, $1.80 now in the money. And if you're just trading contracts, we're long at 24.9 basically. It's at 25.40. So we've got like 150 handles now in the money as we continue to move higher. If there's super chats, you could throw them up. I mean, Neil's in position too. We can go over.
Yeah, throw them all up there. Mike, and by the way, I just bought the dip on Intel on trend line now. That's the new plan. I learned just recently not to worry about potential extra profit on winning trades. That's a good way to lose. Yes, I agree.
I think that's what I was talking about. Like,
I agree.
Getting out in front of VWAP, making plays, not trying to, you know, I use that term when moon, remember? Screw the moon. I mean, the moon's beautiful. I just tweeted something out about
it's
the moon.
It's literally a full moon right now.
Love the moon. I don't mean screw the moon.
It's a gorgeous
Screw
moon
that theory. I mean, it's just, you can hold something for the win. There's no doubt, like 10, 20, 30%, whatever. But if a move happens that you're expecting, please take some out, because it will wipe you the other way.
That's what I'm like. Whatever makes you consistently profitable, don't worry about what others think about it. At least once a day, if not multiple times a week, someone's like, you got out of this move too early. But that's always true. In every single style that I trade, I tend to go from like one level to another and trust the ability, if it's going to trend forever, to get back into it. And that's why I told the story of how I started out trading penny stocks that way. So that's just how I trade. So like when Tesla does the 15-minute bar setup, then I'm essentially playing it. If it rejects there, I'm trailing out. Like, that's the play. Like, there was a support level. And if we put in a higher low, I want to still play it off of this bottom. Because when it's like that reversal on the 15 happens, it's been following through almost the entirety of the day. So just make sure you trade your own style. I find that makes it easier. It's not just about being like consistent. The other thing that it gives you is it gives you a strategy. Like if you have reasons for getting in and getting out and making all of your execution decisions, then at least you can track your ideas. Because if everything is ad hoc and doesn't really have a plan, then it's really difficult to sort of evaluate like new trades or so, because you're just kind of all over the place. So if we lose VWAP, I'm going to be out of this one. Silver's not really doing much. I'll let you guys know if it does. Rocker, Trader Jim. Oh, I can throw this one up myself. I don't know if we did this one. I feel like we've missed a bunch more than this. Thanks for being that day trading hype beast during the COVID area. Glad to have found you guys. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people found us during COVID when everyone was just sort of talking about GME and all the other stuff, and then realized, and after when that, because a lot of people were doing it on YouTube, and then afterward, it's like, well, we were still here trading the markets, whatever whatever market it happened to be. It's like bull market, bear market, whatever. That's what we're all about.
You probably didn't see this from Brendan, but we're working on having Eric Lindros. He just texted both of us. You probably didn't see it.
Oh, word?
Sometime next week. We're working on a date. So it's looking like, you know, sometime in November, hopefully, we can have Lindros on the show. And we've had LaFontaine and Favre and all that. Most likely to talk, obviously, about the concussion business, but industry or Eric treatments and all that. But yeah, Eric Lindros lives near me. I've seen him a couple times. I was telling that to
I was going to say, like, yeah,
there in the chat. The guy's a monster there.
That's a big boy.
Where's Randy at? He'll be interested in that. I'd love for him to, Eric Lindros maybe next week. Yeah, so should be fun coming through. Thank you so much, Randy, for these coffees. They're actually really good.
Did you kill it?
I haven't had it yet.
Fritter is not.
I haven't finished
not
my
being
fruit.
killed yet.
It's not being killed yet.
Okay. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much. There's a big one there, Randy. $50 for that. For that couple fritters. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could.
That's a lot of apple fritters.
We could definitely fund. It's 50 of. It's 25 of them roughly, right? I think they're about $1.79. Okay. Where's the question? All right. Crushed Google puts. Yeah. Not me. And scaling for CMG. Okay. We'll look at Chipotle right there. Seriously, if you buy some guac, the reversal is statically guaranteed. Okay, that's a good one there. We like the guac at Chipotle for sure. Actually, they have really good guac, I find, at Chipotle. But I haven't had that in a very, very long time. But I think I like Chipotle.
We have guac all the time.
I know you've never had Chipotle.
No, I had it once.
You've had it once. Okay.
I was in Philly.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it was with our buddy. I was in Philly and had Chipotle one time in my life.
What can I do?
Actually, no, maybe it was Cincinnati.
What can I do for you, my fine friend?
Why are you hearing about lunch?
Lunch.
It's
Chipotle, we just got a $50 super chat, and Chris was talking about Chipotle.
You want to get what?
No.
Chipotle for lunch?
No.
No, if I'm in this area, you know we're going up to Maison there and getting brisket.
Yeah, we're not.
If we're doing anything for lunch, it's going to be brisket around here. There's a great brisket place that we went to that. I don't know, were you here that day? I'm not sure.
No, I think the time I got the brisket was the one that Patrick.
But I don't think it was as good.
And it was
last November. Dara already remembers. The last time we got brisket was last November. What the hell are we doing around here?
No. We've had. No.
It was that day, Thursday, November 7th, and I remember this because there was a campus event that night as well, and I had to have the brisket with me in a little bit, and then I ate it the next day cold. I know this for a fact. I also bought a Slurpee at Sev that day too.
It was Thursday, November 7th.
You know what's crazy?
Do you know what day it is today?
It's Friday, November 7th.
Friday, November 7th.
Happy birthday,
thanks,
Mom.
Dara, but I was just going to.
My mom's not watching the show, but it's her birthday today.
Come on, man. My mom's is watching probably.
Oh, no. My mom's not a big screen person. You know, with the eyes.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday. I hope that she.
What?
Dara having a good old time over
something's
there.
going on over there.
Yeah, but that's. All right, so the futures just retrace right back up to the top side again, and we got those super chats about being patient, hitting your love. Congratulations, Chris, man, that Google trade was monster. Thank you for not following me. But right into there, we just got out at VWAP before we just did a little bit of a tank there. I did hear a Dara with an overly dramatic response to something, so let's go find out what that was.
No, Fabian just pointed out that the date would be 11/7 when I went to 7-Eleven. I just thought that was funny. That's what I reacted to. But I want to react to these small caps, though, actually, because it's small cap recap time. Here's OpenDoor. Again, whether or not this one counts as a small cap is debatable, but it is a cheaper stock and it's making big moves. So let's talk about it. When I say cheaper, I mean like dollar value. It's about $6. They did gap down pretty heavily here, guys, on their earnings. Slight miss here for adjusted EPS. Sales $915, well above estimates. And their guidance here for Q4, better than expected for sales. Here's BKYI. This one has rallied in the past as well, much like OpenDoor. We've got about a 5.6 million share float and about a $7 million market cap. And last but not least, USAR. USA Rare Earths, another earnings play, much like OpenDoor, missing on EPS here for USA Rare Earths. Now this one, decently large market cap as well. I believe it's over $1 billion. Short float, I believe, is around 10%, so not insignificant. Before we send you back to Sean and Neil for some more trading action and brisket talk, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Because for too long, trading meant risking your own money or just never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines, but that is now changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. So this will allow traders to focus on what truly matters. Discipline, consistency, and of course, growth. So when you hit that profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. That is no fear, that is no barriers, and that is just real opportunity because that's the revolution of limited risk trading. Powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Back to Sean and Neil.
Thank you, Adair. I just heard in my ear something about the U.S. Army acquiring millions of drones in the next few years. Yeah, that's not necessarily a new story. We know drones are the future, but maybe take a look at some of those stocks. They could be moving around a bit on that story. That said, finally, well, we'll see if it works, but we broke trend on OpenDoor. So upward trend since the open, pun maybe not that intended. So there's your kind of uptrend. There's the candle breaking the trend. So I'm in the short, VWAP's the target, high is the out, the old usual. And let's find out maybe more about this drone story.
Yeah, so this was reported earlier that they were going to be buying drones. Now it seems like an army secretary actually told Reuters that they would in fact be buying drones. So it seems like, at least according to Reuters, this is some confirmation for that story. U.S. Army reportedly buying at least 1 million drones in the next 2 to 3 years. The Army's going to be acquiring anywhere from 500,000 drones to millions of drones annually after those first 2-3 years. So again, 1 million drones within the first 2 to 3 years. Then after that, they're going to start annually acquiring 500,000 drones, 2 million of drones. So very rough guideline here, but interesting look. I want to mention as well, RCAT is moving on this. This is, of course, a drone-related play, and they report earnings next week. But it's worth noting when we initially heard reports of this, it was that it was going to be the Pentagon along with Doge. I don't see any Doge involvement here, but with that, it's going to be more about the cost of the drones, because again, initial reports suggested they were going to be getting these drones with some kind of budget. Back to you.
It's not moving Raytheon any. No,
Raytheon?
It's not like, look, Raytheon doesn't do any volume anyways.
I mean, you got Joby for aviation.
Yeah, this is Raytheon's an invest in it stock, not a trade it stock. Like Joby is down 2% today. That's kind of going a little bit, sort of. And then, I don't know, Archer was kind of doing things as well. So looks like a bit of a nothing burger story. Someone just said in the chat, I didn't catch it. Oh, it's Mark's Cars. Don't fight the open army.
Right.
I'm not worried. It's just a trade's a trade. Like if this had lit grabbed, what happened at 9 o'clock, if it did this move at 9:30, my plan was to go long on the way back through 5. And then if it trended up, my plan was to fade, like do a trend break in front of 6 and then do a trend break somewhere in front of 650. So it's just a trade plan. I mean, ultimately, what a day trader does is relevant to a stock. You know, a hedge fund shorting the stock matters because they're going to hold it. I'll be out of this thing one way or another in the next, minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever it might be. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Ultimately, that's the great thing about day trading in a general sense is like you can have traders of all different time horizons, which allows, because there are swing traders, because there are long-term investors, because there are day traders, because there's all this, then you have more opportunity intraday to have reversals of moves, trends. Just makes that a lot more fun. If everyone had the same time frame, none of us would be here.
Okay, I just wanted to write down that we were, yesterday, this is what I want to talk about, Peloton at day's high here, and yesterday during the report, as it was coming back in, I said to Adara, this one might be one of the sort of squeeze names here today. It's not really doing that. The volume's only 10 million shares, but I did think that there was a good potential here for an upside on Peloton after their report yesterday, because you get these flushing down wicks into there, and it was just bought right back up, right into some support. There goes Peloton up 9% today. So, you know, something there if you are interested in Peloton and you know what's been going on with that stock. We just talked about Open Army. That looks like it's trying to get going, and we talked about this earlier when it was here. I was like, $5 probably a good long. We do know what this stock can do, and it did it. It did it real early, man. It went from 5 right at the open. Well, at the open it was 530, but all the way up to 620. So up again, and almost 20% here for OpenDoor. It was down huge there as we wait to see if Eric Jackson is, you know, basically,
that's the one.
I don't want to say man enough, but let's see if he can respond, get him on the air here so that we can talk about OpenDoor. We would really, really love that to happen, as I know that he did retweet, and Adara's trying to make that happen. So
yeah,
hopefully that does, and we'd love for him.
You guys we have people in the Open Army here.
Yeah, we'd love for him to come talk to
So how about this? Like, for everyone that's out there, including saying, don't short OpenDoor, well, you hit up Eric Jackson, say, hey, look, I was watching Trader TV Live. I think this would be a great place for you to come make the case, or at least talk about it, because there's a willing audience that just wants to hear what you have to say. And regardless, that's the best thing about it. Like, everyone, I don't care what you think about OpenDoor. You can certainly always benefit from other perspectives. And if the worst thing that happens to you is you gain some information, maybe it solidifies your own particular opinion on it, or maybe you learn something new, who cares? Let's just all try to grow together, because that's what it's all about.
It's too bad we can't put it, maybe Adair, if we could put his handle or something in the chat, and then you guys could message him ASAP and say we're literally talking about him right now. Would love to have him come on to discuss it, because there's a lot of traders here that would like to know more information. Okay, so that would be awesome. Good idea, Neil, for that one. Okay, so just
my idea. Someone else said it.
Oh, they did? Okay, yeah.
Didn't you just say?
Well, I should get him on the show, but it was a good idea for you to say, like, let's use our power to see if we can influence him to come
Speaking
in.
of,
So I think that's a good idea.
Oh, I thought I had that key.
All right, I just, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to hit it.
All right, so we just, again, you know, we did not average in down here, but we sure as heck got, am I allowed to say that? Got out right here at 104 again on the way back up, right? There's that VWAP. We got that super chat that I think has disappeared now, but it was just about, you know, hitting levels and not being too greedy and not waiting for those monster trades or whatever the wording was there. Yeah, right back up there to VWAP again. Let's just get some more out. Like, you don't want, I mean, this trade can never go against, it can go against me, but I can't go red. So there it goes upside again. We'll see if it can hold. I am trying to rebuy right around here, 102.60. And then if we can get down here, we'll buy again, and then we'll dump it off at 102. But I don't like this rejection at VWAP. I do think we could retest near day's lows again at some point here, unfortunately, for the market. Let's check in on Robinhood. I mean, now that the market's tried to bounce a little bit, there was some talk about Robinhood, and traders like this name. I don't like it yet. Unfortunately, I think it has double digits in it. I don't know if it bounces off 100 or not, but I just worry that if the market continues its downside pull here for a little bit, that Robinhood will continue to go down. Because even if you just drop 2 or 3% a day for the next couple of days, that will get you to that level. It's just the price of the stock.
Oh, that was oh my goodness.
That was SSR, yeah.
No,
that was SSR yesterday, actually.
Look at where it bounced.
Yeah, what, 120 again?
It's not just, it didn't just bounce anywhere.
I didn't even look at it.
Robinhood bounced right off the low on the daily. So there's the low on the daily, 121. I'm only slapping a fail because we were talking about in the pre-market, and then did not get it. And like 1 for 3 in actually being ready for, like, Pinterest worked. Like, that one I was ready for at the open. And then I missed one yesterday because I wasn't looking at it. That little SSR bounce when it gets to a key level, and the follow through. It's just a statistical play that we like. We got a bunch of super chats in here, so let's see if we can't get through them. Do you think it's an AI bubble? I think all crazy asset moves up are bubbles, because all we do is print ridiculous amounts of money created by more debt, and then that funnels into assets. In this particular case, That being said, the reason why it works long term is because oftentimes, and this is why the market works, the capital goes into a good place. So even though if it gets frothy, there's something there, and it creates growth. So even when you get pullbacks, AI is a real thing. You know, the internet was a real thing. So like, yes, to a certain extent, what nobody can predict is like, well, how bad will any kind of a crash of the bubble be? Like, I tend to think that this one, again, being a productive one, is one that should be, what's the word I want to use? Not devastating, because ultimately I believe in the technology and that it is something that will genuinely create value in the world. But yeah, everything's a bubble, because I don't want to get too much into monetary policy, but if you understand like what money is and debt. Debt is the foundation of this world. So, Sean Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Hardest thing for me was taking profit. This channel changed that for me. Since adopting what I learned here, I've become profitable. Shout out to you and thank you. Sean Aaron.
Aaron.
Oh, if I see Aaron, I got to say it.
Where did it say it up there?
On control delete. Does the trend line on BTC from the 25K lows look promising? Looking for a 93 to 95K bounce. I'd have to throw up a really higher time frame chart than I have up right now. Let's go a monthly. Whoop, that's too far. Probably needed a weekly. So you've got, that's from here. You know what? I don't usually draw trend lines on this one, so bear with me. Oh, it's right there. So why is this not all the way extending? Come on, TradingView, make it easier for me. Yeah, that looks promising. But I like breaks of trend lines. When you buy on the trend of the dip of the trend line, I wouldn't sit in front of it. It's more along the lines of if you see it bounce, like the week, because it's on a weekly chart. So the week that it bounces and closes higher, I'd buy it the next week, not sit in front of the level, because your pattern's on a weekly chart. So then therefore you should be using the weekly chart for entries, not like a daily or something like that. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, good looking trend line. I didn't even notice that one. From, you said the 25K level, there's it holding that support, and we do reach it at about 93. But I like this support level anyways, at like 91, 92. That could just give you some confluence.
All right, unfortunately, okay, well, here it comes in. We just took some 75s here. I was waiting at 65 for a little bit more. And I mean, just to that super chat there about taking profits, it's like, that's the whole point of what we're trying to explain to everybody is that sometimes profit taking is definitely necessary regardless of really what you think long term. Short term, there could be, crazy violence in this market, and accounts can get wiped out much quicker than anybody thinks. So just watch out here. Again, I'm just going to use 102 as the stop. I mean, we had recently, our best bid is down here at 102.25, so we're still down. Am I even down there? No, I can't. Oh no, I'm at 102. No, I don't want to be at 102.05. That's crazy. My stop is 102 break. So I don't want to be at 102.05 because it will break, right? So all I'm going to do there is get that trade and then have to punch out of it immediately, most likely. So we meant to be at 25. So we're going to put another order right where we got filled the first time, 102.25 down there in case we do have that dramatic flush. Because look, man, there's that volume profile one more time as we get a big volume spike on the sell, though. The thing about this volume, that came basically on the flush here from VWAP all the way down. It's a little different than the profile that we saw the first time, but there it is. That's on the TQs. The very first one we found on was the market. So we don't actually have a flush or a volume situation on the market itself, just on this particular asset, or it's like an ETF, I guess, triple levered ETF there. So yeah, the NASDAQ just kind of using it down here as the main exchange. And again, here at Real Trading, we have the capabilities of trading the futures. It just looks like this, NQ, and right now we'll go into, it should be December, I think right now, E-mini. So this is what it looks like right now. Yeah, so 24.9, so we've broken below 25,000. And as you can see, this is just traded in quarters. So the futures look different. It's a different tape reading. It's a different velocity. It's different everything. Like I wouldn't see how we just jumped 6 handles there. Like I have no, to me, that's not, doesn't mean anything to me. When I watched, that's Robinhood, but when I watch the TQs, the price action on this is more to my eye. So this is more what I'm all about. And look at this, man. See, like right there, that little bump up there, let's take advantage of it. And we just did into 96s. So we just bought some 65s right there. 70s and 65s, out 90s, so just to the 95s, out again 95, out again O's if we can get it right there, which we just did. So, you know, this is what we're talking about, being being disciplined and taking some profit out right now. I feel like I'm freezing a little bit in here. I don't know.
The door's open.
Oh, the door's open, okay.
Freezing in here.
But there it is, another profitable trade there. We didn't take that top wick, but we should have. So we're there now anyways at 102.07. But anyways, that's the futures trading right there. SMR was the only name I bought today, and that was bad, man. We bought that at 30. It almost came all the way back in. The reason why we bought some 30s is on the daily, well, it's already broken way below. I just thought this little level into here was something, and it was also the 200 period moving average. So we got some more nuclear, got it back in there. All I did was buy back what I sold there, but I really hope it doesn't come all the way down into here, because then that would have been a better hold by me. Okay, futures coming right back in again.
Man, this is, someone just mentioned that MP was way up. This is why I nibbled in some, because I don't know where the bottom's going to be on this thing. It's almost at the 200 period, and it gets like within stone's throw, and now it's up 5%. So to me, it could end up being like a nibble in. But yeah, you want to look for some relative strength here today. MP stands out. DraftKings stands out, at least. Okay, it still does. DraftKings has gone red to green. That still looks pretty good. But just a couple of names that are on the visualizer that we haven't been going over. Okay, we'll open. You know what? It's still the same three. Our viewers really like Open, Tesla, and Meta. Those have been the top three. We haven't looked at Apple or actually much of Nvidia or Robinhood today. But certainly, yeah, forget about DraftKings. Clearly, you guys don't care about it. Open is doing the exact same thing as before, which is it broke trend, hasn't broken the high. There was a nice topping tail, so I was able to get a better price here. I have 15s to give to the high, so that gives me basically 15 cents worth of risk, and then scalp out into the volume weighted average price. The midpoint is about 5.90, so it's like 25 pennies it gets to VWAP. It's about 1.5, sort of a normal mean reversion trade. But Apple, it's green today.
What? Good.
And remember, Apple had good news? I don't know if you guys heard about, I don't know if you've ever heard of Alphabet and Gemini.
No.
But if you haven't, then, well, it doesn't matter. The point is they only have to pay $1 billion a year, apparently, to integrate Gemini and improve Siri and improve the AI experience on the phones. That's good news, and it's getting bought up for the third day in a row at 268 and could be breaking out highs. Apple just feels so insulated from all of this AI bubble mess relative to its peers. Let's go to Adara. Time for a little sector watch.
It is, yeah, it's going to be 10:40 right now, so we're actually ended up being right on time. Let's talk here about the sector board, because I think this once again mentions, I feel like I've said this a lot lately, as we continue to kind of see clear separation between the tech part of the market and the rest of the market. But it's interesting that we're red on the day, specifically on, I guess, the NASDAQ, but we have a lot of sectors that are really strong. Consumer non-durables having a great day today. Monster Energy helping that one with its earnings last night. Utilities doing pretty well with the exception of day one earnings play CEG. Energy Minerals having a great day. Communications having a great day, led to the upside by TMUS. In financials doing pretty well as well. Now, what is dragging us down? Well, it's going to be tech and specifically semiconductor-related plays. You look at producer manufacturing, we've got LRCX and AMAT one more time pushing the market a bit lower, specifically the sector. Electronic technology, with the notable exception of Apple, as just mentioned, is not having a great day either. Nvidia, Broadcom, and AMD all down 3% or more. And technology services, Microsoft actually relatively flat today, but Google, Oracle, AppLovin, Intuit, Meta, tons of weakness. The point I'm trying to make here is that this market is clearly being driven by tech once more. These are the largest names in the market, and if they have a good day or a bad day, that's what the market's going to reflect. Back to you.
Yes, thank you there, Darren. Good day for, I saw it was Walmart, Costco, and shoot, I missed the third one. Not that it matters, but I think it's been a good week for them too as well. Yeah, definitely feels like it. Daniel, whatever, I keep saying Mr. Westermeyer because I find it fun, but Daniel Westermeyer saying 25 is resistance, not support. We'll see. I mean, for now, like I kind of feel like it's around that level. but we're taking out some of these lows as we speak. And for every Apple out there, and there's not many of them, there's a Meta, right? Like, it's hard for us to bounce. Apple can't carry everything. You know, Meta's down 2% here at the low of the day. It's a difficult job being the strong one, which Apple's doing everything it can. Load. Amazon's trying to hold. It's literally losing VWAP. You just have enough weakness out there. Like, I don't know what's going to bring this market up. Somebody else has to join the party. I mean, Tesla could help. No, but Tesla could help. But Tesla just lost VWAP in here, so it just lost the volume weighted average price. I don't know what's going to get us up. Like, Nvidia is literally trending, though, just trending straight down. Like, it hasn't done anything to indicate it wants to break that trend. Yeah, so it's looking relatively weak here, unfortunately. Yeah, don't know what's going to get us up. Well, Target might have been the other one, Ronnie. You're right.
I mean, yeah, Dara kind of nailed it with her talk there about, you know, as some of these tech names go, so goes the market. And I mean, that's why I'm sort of trying to focus here. And as here comes the TQs right back in again. So, yeah, unfortunately, this looks like it wants to crack lower against us and break that 102 in the bottom of the day. So as we take profits on the way up, and remember what I said, like, once we tested that, I said sort of like, I have a feeling we're coming back down into the lows of the day once we kept rejecting there. And you could rewind the tape for that one. And we followed our plan and we got long down here. We're long at 102.18, which is good. But at the same time, I'm taking a little bit out as we pop through because I think this breaks 102 and that's my stop. And we have to have a stop in there and, you know, we'll stay positive on it. But at the end of the day, it looks like the futures want to go lower here, which is kind of sucky. You know, it looks like we may be in part of a free fall Friday. We've had 2% basically twice this week on the NASDAQ. So if that's going to be an indicator and you're looking to maybe reverse into a long at some point, there still is some more downside pressures obviously existing right now in this market. So just be careful with whatever you're trading and understand that you do need to have some kind of stops in place for sure. All right, Affirm. I mean, maybe this runs and we're able to get something out again in the 20s just to let some of this. There we go, we just got some. Just to let some of this breathe one more time in there for the TQs. All right, AFRM was a name I wanted to check out. I also want to check out Block. Block had a bad day and then rallied, probably back down right now.
I'll say.
Affirm had a good day, but they came back still up that 8% and trying to hold bids right now as Affirm. We're going to lose TQs in a second here.
Yeah, silver just came out for me.
Yeah, it looks like everything's break. There it goes.
Like, this is the thing. Like, you can find a bid, but when it's just lower high, I could have got out at VWAP when it was respecting VWAP, but I never did. I actually held on to some. So give back the gains on silver. End up going like close enough to flat, but a very, very slight loss on this one. Everything is breaking down at this moment.
I still want to get long, but
oh, thank you for another super chat. Adara is Musk's first working Optimus.
Booyah.
Adara's way more functional.
Thank you for the super chat and supporting the show. Also, once again, not AI, but thank you very much.
All right.
Wasn't the thing that, didn't they have like an Optimus robot like handing out candy or something and it was struggling doing like something as simple as that?
Yeah, like picking up coffee cups and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that little. There's a lot that has to happen to get it to where it needs to be. We're talking years, but you can't tell me you don't want one when it's available. I'm just thinking about not having to, every season, my neighbor there's so many maple leaves that need to be raked. And like 99% of them are coming from across the street. He's a great dude, and a lot of times he will clean up some of it. I don't like raking leaves. I don't love cutting grass. I don't like shoveling the driveway, all those things that you got to do. So thank you, Optimus, when you're in my household doing it for me. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah. I don't mind some Optimus. I like raking leaves and stuff. It gives me something to do because I get bored too easily. Especially when I'm at home. But yeah, that's what it's used for, I think. I think it's going to help out the industrial revolution as well and create almost a new one with AI, right? And that is being able to make more efficient factories and all that kind of stuff, which I think will be obviously at the cost of jobs, but that's still to be talked about because AI does create jobs as well. But I think in a factory setting, it probably does remove them. XYZ It's funny, like it's at the day's high. Like as the market tanks down, you know, names that had horrible reports, you know, you thought that might have continued. So, but no, block upside there. At some point, this has to be a short, right? Is it not going to follow the market at some point to the downside? And we talked about another name that's been getting hit today is SMR. Obviously, that goes down. I did rebuy some at 30. I mean, maybe that'll be good tomorrow, but who knows, man? Right now, down off of that on Monday is SMR, continually lower. And then, you know, my number one stock today is still Tesla. Despite doing this. And we didn't have that many shares left there, which was, remember I told you we only had 20%? So that was thankful, but you know, missed that move up. Let's wait to see if Tesla gives us another opportunity to do that. I'm still waiting. We just got a nice little wick down candle there on the NASDAQ. So I do want to get back into the TQs a little bit, but that's a dangerous wick because that's all the way down to 101.60. So it's about trying to figure out the share size. Like you go a couple hundred shares right now, you're risking a couple $100. So if you think that's worth it for the long, I'm just wondering, is it worth getting a long now or is the short still there? We already identified that was a problem breaking off a VWAP, which is why we got most of our shares out there. But the average in last time was not great. So that gave some profits away. Back into that one. Microsoft broke lower yesterday through 500. It's trying to figure that spot.
Here goes open. It's sat in this consolidation for, I don't know, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, for 15 minutes before it even gave me the top, and then another 15 minutes before it broke the top. So that's one. I mean, I take these 10 times out of 10. There was really not even a chance to scalp it though. And that's the thing, like when the trend break happens, you kind of really want it to go right away. So it needs to break. If it breaks again down, I don't mind taking the same level, because we didn't give it too much room. We only gave it to the high, or we let it get to like 650. I think that's going to be the next play, at least for myself. Tesla doesn't seem like it can be a long. I'm not even sure I like it back down here again. Like it broke trend, kind of rejected where I thought it might. Maybe a little bit further it could have gone, and now you're headed right back into the lows. If we're just going to trend down all day, then I can't be married to the idea of the volume weighted average price on SMCI, because the last pop didn't get there, and therefore I missed it. So I'll just look at, that's a really steep trend line that it has right now. So if it breaks trend, then I wait for VWAP to short. Otherwise, I'm going to short under the trend line here in SMCI, which would be about 39. This did this yesterday, where if you missed it early, it was like every single pop. It kind of consolidated like that, and then the morning consolidation level actually worked out for you as a short the rest of the day, and it went another $1 down. So if the market just continues trending, then I'll still like this one. So they have to pay for locates on this, so not everyone can short.
You know what I want to check? I want to check Google again, because Google, okay. Yeah, so this is the biggest loser for me today. This is actually the only red stock. We're still up on the TQs, obviously, and on Tesla. But this is the one red name for me today, and we tried to buy this dip at 280. Did not happen, and also rejected the 50-period moving average. But you see, like, this is kind of, and I haven't heard anything about Joe's program in a while, but not just mean he wasn't mentioning it, but that's like a wick there that you're trying to catch, right? Like if you see something like that and you see the huge move back up to the upside, it's not really followed by too much volume there, but it's just kind of like the whack and then the hold blasted back up, right? And then you could use sort of that little bottom there as you're out. And if you're using a 1 minute candle, there's the out. You might, if you can catch that long, fine, but you don't really know that that's the dip buy. So you might want to just do it once it covers up the previous candle. So all the way back up here to 276.60. And I know that's 275.60. So when you're going there, you're looking for at least $1 back there to the upside to make that trade make any sense. So right now, that's what it's doing. And I like that as a trade for Google and for that kind of a relationship to that downside. So, all right, man. So I thought the reason why I went there is we kind of found it right there on the TQs. For the largest wick I've seen of the day, we did have a large wick up there that we took advantage of as well. But right into there, using this now as our bottom 101.50, we're able to get long and bring it right back up to the upside, adding again to our net. This is my biggest stock today is Tesla, but right now with me currently holding on to this, just like 20 more cents and this becomes P&L number one. But I don't know. I want to hold it for a back-end trade here. Let's see if the market actually wants to go at some point here. Down another 1.5% today. Not sure what the NASDAQ is down this week, but I think it's like 5%. So
it's one of the worst weeks. And
yeah, so I think, and that's a pretty good dip, man. Like, generally people will come in and buy like around 10%, so we'll see if we can get a similar dip next week, and then maybe we start to buy some of the indexes right there. We can talk more about ETFs, of course.
I buy every 10% dip.
Right, yeah, see, so there you go. So
it's just a matter of which one. It usually was the SPY for a long time, then it was a NASDAQ. I think this time it'll be the SPY.
Yeah, I like the SPY too. I had too many NASDAQ names.
Obi in the house. I think we're supposed to.
Yeah, Obi's covering. Sharif is not here this afternoon.
Oh.
So Obi will be a lot of Obi, and he's got on his bromance vest as well. Finance. It is freezing.
It is cold.
Wait, just
they
give
have
it
the
a
door
second.
open. But you know what? If we just
the finance bros vest.
But if we just turn this thing on, it's like a heater. If you just turn that screen on, we're all warm.
Screens are warm.
It's fantastic. Anyways,
Randy's always just chilling, man. He's got the shorts sometimes. He's always got the t-shirts on.
It's cold, trust me.
Yeah, it's a little.
Let's go to Adair so I can actually eat this.
Whether or not it's cold or warm, the U.S. dollar is going to stay in that uptrend. That is for sure, though has been down for the last now 3 days. As I've mentioned, though, that September 17th Fed meeting a couple months ago was September 17th, Fed meeting was a really nice bottom here for the DXY. Since then, we've just continued on this uptrend, even briefly breaking back above the 100 level earlier this week, though, again, we've broken back below that level now. I do want to talk about Fed speak because with not a lot of economic data, that's really been our biggest thing to rely on when it comes to the sentiment of the market and whether or not we might get some more rate cuts later this year. Now, of course, we did actually get some economic data today with the University of Michigan consumer sentiment print being lower than expected and a higher than expected one-year inflation expectation. So basically that means consumers maybe aren't as enthusiastic as we thought they would be, and the inflation in the next year expected to be a little bit higher than maybe we thought. So not a great sign of near-term enthusiasm, that is for sure. But these Feds have been really across the board. Fed's Myron remains by far just the most dovish person on this Fed. He said that he has the same views as his colleagues, but he's just more aggressive with regards to the speed. Now, I do have to talk as well about the Feds that have been a little bit more cautious or hawkish. Fed's Hammock, we had some commentary from yesterday. I think probably still the most hawkish member of the Fed, at least vocally. Fed's Goolsby a bit hawkish as well. So again, guys, just be aware of which one of these Fed speakers are talking, especially if you kind of have a sense of what their biases might be with regards to the market, because that can make these market moves. And of course, worth watching because with not a lot of economic data, their opinions are going to be one of our biggest indicators of sentiment heading into that December 10th meeting. Back to you.
All right.
Yes,
it's about that time, though.
Come on, tacos.
Right. Oh, man.
Tacos.
Ooh.
I just keep saying it.
I don't know if this is a Thai dish. Not tacos. I mean, yesterday we had the beef chili. I mean, that was pretty good. I don't know.
No, the beet bean salad on the side.
Beans on the side.
That was good.
I actually really like the sides most of the time.
Yeah,
Yesterday I tweeted out what was for lunch. Here, I'll show you guys. This is the salad that Neil's talking about right here. So this is generally what we get with our names on it. There's the chili, a salad, and there was some of that. I don't know. They called it Mexican corn salad. I don't know. With a little bit of like a chipotle ranch. No, this is yesterday. Oh. It was the beef. But today's, oh yeah, that's right. You weren't here. It was pretty good. It was chili. It was actually pretty decent chili. Really? Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
You liked it.
All right, today's though. There it is, chicken adobo. I think it's a Thai dish. Chicken adobo. A-D-O-B-O.
Filipino.
How do you know that?
Filipino. Well, I was pretty close, man. What did I say?
She just said I have friends. I have friends too. I don't know what chicken adobo is.
I said Philippines.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just, I had a guess there. With steamed jasmine rice, broccoli, and chef's choice salad.
Better have sauce like that. Sauce.
There it is. Oh, we got it up?
Sauce. Yeah. That's a really bad picture. I don't know, the resolution is so terrible.
And there's our jasmine rice in the back, so we'll...
I'll take it.
We'll take it.
That would be a win.
Sounding nice.
Well, that would be a win. That will be a win because we are actually having it.
Yeah, we'll go. I'm going to go... I don't know, I'm not feeling that way. I might just do the sauna, but I'll probably go swimming for a couple laps. I always do that, and then a couple minutes in the sauna this afternoon, and we'll be back with you guys, of course, at 2 o'clock. And we have Obi and Joe. He wants to know by French version today over there as he's going to get ready to talk. Any options questions or any questions you have at all about the midday? Obviously, Obi's one of his strengths there is analyzing the charts and looking at some of the questions.
And there was that options question earlier. I fired it off to Joe. I don't know if it was Uriel in the chat. If you're still in the chat, just maybe ask Joe that question. The one I was like, yeah, that I'm not.
Oh, tell me about Apple. It was.
No, it was the Apple. It was the Apple question. So if you're still in the chat, just fire that off at Joe. I know he's more than willing to answer your options questions. It's not quite 11 o'clock yet.
Oh, yeah, I thought we had lots.
Oh, Mabas just said they just ate chicken adobo a couple of days ago.
How was it?
See, there you go. Let us know how it was. That's what I'm curious about.
In the Philippines. Hey, I said it was Philippines.
In the Philippines.
There we go. Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, there it is.
Trust you.
So you got the original there in the Philippines. It's like coming to Quebec and having some poutine over here. I don't know what Canada's famous for as far as food is concerned. We've had those discussions.
Oh, I should have taken this one too.
A couple times. I don't really know. It's poutine, or we talked about beaver tails.
Remember I was telling you this SPAC thing?
This what?
The SPAC.
Yes.
You guys are just going to hear this now. There's only 2 minutes left. So anyways, and not everyone, this isn't going to be for everybody because like not everybody is going to be excited that you could just get in and make 2 cents for free. But when you look at so this is a SPAC that opened today. They're all about the same size. Either it's like 150 million or like 250. It seems like there's never any difference in the size. But this is what they look like on the level 2. See all this liquidity? And what I've noticed is if it opens over 10 and you get the opening print, it's kind of like an IPO. Like if it doesn't break down underneath that opening print, you just get a nice little win. I've seen the Chamath one was like 15 to 20 cents. Most of the other ones are like 2 or 3, but there's like unlimited liquidity here. Like if you're long on that opening print, which was at 04, like look at the liquidity that's just sitting there on 04. It's like 400,000 shares displayed there, So you can just kind of load up the opening print. It goes right in the money for you, a couple of cents. I got to take one of these. I always forget. And the problem with them is like I'm used to IPOs opening later in the day, and these tend to be opening in the morning, so I'm never ready for it. But the next one I have to be. This opened at like 10:20, so it's worked like every single one that I've seen in the last 3 months. It's opened above $10, has held the opening print, and then rallied to some extent. Anyways, that's just. I was mentioning it to Sean, but I'm more saying it out loud because it reminds me to look at it.
It's a good trade opportunity, right?
Yeah, I just feel like it's the liquidity there, it's scalable, and you don't need to have that big of a gross win. Like you get a few pennies on it. I don't remember the ticker for the Chamath one to be able to show to you, but I think if it has more hype, you might be able to get more than a point on it. But Tesla, yikes. Yeah, Elon got his vote, and he's not getting that payout today. Obviously.
No.
Because the market cap is only going to the downside as we speak, unfortunately.
Tesla not a great day for market cap.
3.8%. But Tesla's down twice the market, twice the NASDAQ, 3.5 times the ES. It's down. It's trying to catch a bit of a bid down here, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that good. And ZMOKD, anyone remember Clover? What I was describing about those SPACs, it's literally like an IPO. Like my intention is to take the opening print on one of those. That candle was like a 3-minute candle to get the high of the day. I want to be in and I want to be out. I don't invest in any of those SPACs.
Right.
It's a trade and only a trade.
Yeah, like looking what happened at Nikola, and there's so many different SPACs that did not go properly. That is for sure. So a good look over there, Neil, talking about some of those. All right, man. Neil's going to have his apple fritter, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, I was waiting until...
Or are you going to save it for a post-lunch tasty treat?
I was waiting till I finished my morning fruit, my fruit salad. Yeah, and now that's done.
Eat the fruit first.
And then I was also going to not eat in front of you guys.
Okay, good. Although that hasn't really stopped us before.
I know. I get. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Randy, for going for that as well. Thanks, Neil, for treating for the protein because of the Movember talk that we had. So that was a good one. Enjoy that. I'm just long the futures, waiting for a move higher, and we're going to go over to the midday, and they're going to have many different ideas as well. Adobo chicken, man, a Filipino treat is for lunch around here. Ciao till 2.